All right, all right, all right. It looks like we are now live. How's it going, everyone? How's it hanging? How's everyone's day going so far today? Looks like we are good to go. The stream is set up and ready. How is everyone's day? If y'all can do me a big ass favor, let me know how the audio is coming in. Want to make sure that we are nice and clear. Make sure we are good. Let's see here. Go here. Boom, boom, boom. Move this over here. See who we got in the chat right now. Let's see. We got Virgil Hill. What's going on, man? Nathan, what's going on, dude? Mitchell McKenna, how you doing, bro? How's everyone doing? Happy Saturday, Isaias. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you. Happy Saturday to all you guys as well, to everyone that's watching right now. Do me a favor, leave a big old thumbs up on this live stream if you haven't already, and share this around with as many people as you possibly can. Let everyone in the Mayo Gang and beyond know that I am live streaming right now, and that now is the best time to go ahead and place your orders for, for the next shopping spree giveaway. And I'll get into that a little bit later as well. How's everyone's Saturday going so far? See, Virgil Hill, you said, once again, MGC4 ruled the field today. That's good to hear, man. That is very good to hear. And speaking of the MGC4s, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with our social media, but the MGC4 Mark II shipment actually arrived at port. It actually arrived at port the other day, and we're slated to get it in within the next few days, so we'll start shipping it out as soon as we get them in. As soon as we get them, we're going to immediately start shipping out to all the pre-orders. So if you haven't already, make sure you place pre-order. What's up, Corbo? What's going on, dude? DJ, how you feeling, bruh? Sounded pretty good. Could be a little louder. All right, I can go ahead and bring that up. Any better? Does that sound better? All right, sweet. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. One local corn dog. 3, hey, my mag's not putting BBs into my gun. I think my speed loader is loading sideways. Huh, that might be interesting. One local corn dog. DM us on Discord, Instagram, or Facebook with what might be going on with the, show us a video of what might be happening so we can get a better idea. Yeah, we might be able to, I mean, worst case scenario, if you just want to get a new speed loader, we sell plenty of speed loaders, so we are good. Blake Overacker, MGC4 Mark II on pre-order since mid-October got me tweaking, waiting. I mean, hey, you know what? At least we got our second shipment in. It did clear port, Blake. It actually did arrive at port already, and we're gonna be getting that in. I believe Tuesday we might be getting it. Tuesday. So as soon as we receive that into the actual building, we are immediately gonna start processing orders and start shipping them all out. Guggs, what's going on, man? Gigs, what's happening, dude? Perfect time and just woke up. What's going on, dude? Why don't the new colorways come in enhanced versions on enhanced? We haven't been able to get them in yet, but we should be able to. We should be able to. We'll be able to go to make them. We'll be able to make them, Virgil Hill. Sup, Nate? What's going on, man? How's everyone doing? You ever played a VIP Airsoft in Arizona? No, actually, I've never played Airsoft in another state, and that's something that I really, really want to change. That's why the next time that Boaz and Cisco make it out to the next Texas BB Wars event, because I know they like doing road trips for it, right? They've played at VIP before, I believe. I would love to be able to go ahead and play out. That would sound amazing, man. Like, I would love to be able to make it out to like random ass like states throughout the U.S. and play at fields, big or small, and just to meet other members of the community as well. That's always what I've wanted to do. Again, I've said it before on stream, and I'll say it again, right? That's the ultimate goal, right? Is being able to go out to different states and go on a road trip, right? An airsoft road trip specifically, right? And just go to every single field that I can possibly find, right? Big or small, right? Big or small. I would love to be able to make it out to every single field. Just say what's up and then play a little airsoft too with the community, right? That's the biggest thing. And hopefully, we'll be able to, again, if you guys can show enough support, right, and ask for it enough, we can maybe see about getting me taken out to BB Wars Texas, right, when it comes around. Maybe we'll be able to go to VIP as well. Maybe there as well. All right, let's see here. We'll get started in like one more minute. One more minute, we'll officially begin the stream, go over the promos for all y'all. But yeah, how's everyone's day going so far? Must over to me that I didn't ask already. How's everyone's day going so far? Have you guys been able to play this week? Or are you planning on playing later on this weekend? What might be going on? What's the plans for the weekend? Myself, I am obviously, working here. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to go ahead and do, probably just hanging out with the family, because last couple of weeks have actually been very busy for me, running the freaking 10K and then going to celebrating my 10-year anniversary with my fiance was very, very fun. But we are both exhausted from the week. We definitely need a break. But potentially within the next few weeks, I might be going out to Project N1 very soon. So keep an eye out for that. I'll probably make the announcement all of our social media that I'm going out to N1 with me and Sigma and the rest of the boys. So who knows? Maybe, right? We'll see. We'll just have to see. Otherwise, it might just be me and Sigma. But either way, guys, it is now 3:35. Welcome to another episode of the Storefront live stream. My name is Isaias, and I'll be your host for today's live stream. So how is everyone's day going so far? Hopefully, you guys are having as much of a good day as I am today, because I am actually having a pretty good day. But you guys saw the title of the live stream. It's going to be so easy to win. And what do I mean by that? Well, I am, of course, referring to the shopping spree giveaway. For all my newer viewers out there that are just joining us for the first time, first of all, big old shout out to you guys. Big thank you. Again, your viewership always means the world to me, and again, shows a lot of support to us at Airsoft. Yeah, if you haven't already, make sure to leave a big old thumbs up on this live stream. Share this around with as many people as possible. Let's get all eyes on this stream. Right? And this is a Q&A live stream, so you will be able to ask your Airsoft-related questions. But in reference to the title, right, the shopping spree giveaway, what exactly is the shopping spree giveaway, right? It is a weekly raffle, which we do, every week on Thursdays. However, during these live streams, I like to throw in extra promotions for you guys to help you increase your odds. Now, normally, any $20 or greater order would automatically enter you with one entry, right? Doesn't matter how big. As long as it's $20 or more, then you just get one entry. However, right now, during this live stream time frame, which is going to be from 3:30, we're going to end it at 5:30. We are doing promotions. So first one right here, every order placed before 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time will receive 5 entries, 5 of them per $50 spent, right? So let's say you spend $50, maybe a little more, you're going to be getting 5. You get up to 100, that's going to be 10. 150, 15. You guys get the idea. It's going to be multiples of 50. So think that way, and you'll be getting 5 per, right? Now, normally, the Silver 20th Anniversary Mystery Box was the only way to increase your odds, that much more. You would place your order for one, and you'd be getting 10 entries, not to mention a chance of winning something actually fucking amazing, because this prize list is insane, right? We're talking a stacked Mystery Box prize. Cisco picked out all these guns himself, right, that he wanted on this Mystery Box, and everything on here is a certifiable banger, right? Not only will you be receiving, a guaranteed dub, because the lowest costing prize on that mystery box is like $175. So it's already a $20 difference, right, that you can save right there, right? But you'll also be getting 10 entries normally. Now, during the time frame of this live stream, you will be receiving 15 entries into the giveaway, considering, it does pass 150, right? But again, that's only going to be till 5:30. Once 5:30 hits, that's going to be the end, and this promotion is going to be over, right? So make sure you take advantage. If you were planning on getting a silver mystery box, do it now. Like, literally just do it right now. This is going to be the best time to do it. And also, because we were talking about the MGC4s earlier, right? The MGC4 Mark IIs specifically, right? Well, you know what? We'll extend it. For any pre-order specific, it has to be a pre-order for an MGC4. Anyone that pre-orders an MGC4, right, you'll be receiving 50 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. That's a huge amount. That is literally the easiest way to do it. So if you guys were on the fence about getting an MGC4, you guys were considering picking one up for yourself, I would highly recommend that you pick one up right now. Again, during the time frame. Again, it started at 3:30 and it's going to be ending at 5:30. So only have that 2-hour window in order to take advantage and get 50 entries of winning. Because remember, right now the prize pot is at $1,800. The last winner, again, was not there. He was not present, was not able to claim, his prize of $1,200. And so we stacked another $600 on top. We're now at $1,800. Guys, don't let it go to waste. One of you guys is going to end up winning $1,800, right? One of you guys can win it. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's someone that ends up taking advantage of the promo I have going on during the stream right now. So make sure that you place your orders now while you can. Again, there are still plenty of other items that which you can go and pick up as well. There are still a ton of items that are on a shocker deal. Plenty of discounts going all around. Just hit the sales page on our website. Scroll down, you'll be able to see a ton of them as well. Get that holiday shopping done now, right? You don't stress about the holiday season. Don't stress last minute about trying to go and find all these gifts for everyone. Get your holiday shopping done now while the deals are hot. Right now, like I said, this is a Q&A live stream. So if any of you guys have any airsoft related questions, if you're looking for product recommendations, things to, that you're curious about my opinions on certain items that we sell on our website, by all means, feel free to ask. My personal experience with certain things, whether it be airsoft events, if you're looking for recommendations for tactical gear, for how to play, whatever it might be, any newer player, returning player, veteran player, doesn't matter, right? Again, if you guys have airsoft related questions, I'll be more than happy to help you out as best as I can. However, it does mean a lot easier if you guys are able to put a letter Q right in for your question. Definitely makes it a lot easier. Things can get lost in the chat, right? Things can get lost in the chat. But having that little cue right in front of your question definitely makes it a heck of a lot easier for me to identify. Now, you are welcome to ask your question more than once if I haven't already gotten to it. Things can get lost. I'm not perfect, right? I do make mistakes. However, please be patient. Anything more than twice and you will be kicked or put on a timeout, and we don't want to do that. Mods will end up doing it to you, and that's not something we like to do. So just be patient. We will definitely come around to your question. I just want to make sure I give everyone equal opportunity to ask their questions and have equal time being answered as well. Now, again, I've been playing for 14 years. I never claimed to be an expert on Airsoft. However, I definitely know a thing or two. So feel free to go ahead and ask away, and I do not mind. And again, if you haven't already, please make sure to go ahead and like and share this video or this live stream around with as many people as possible. And if you're not already, make sure to hit that bell notification, right? Make sure you're subscribed. We're putting out all this free content for you. And all we ask is that you guys subscribe. Helps keeps the camera rolling and helps keeps the lights on. But with that said, why don't we get started now into your amazing Airsoft questions. Remember, just put a Q right for your question. Makes it a lot easier. Daniel Torres, good to hear from you, man. Will you be getting LCT SVD S series? God, if you can order NPO from Poland, that would be crazy. I mean, as long as LCT is able to, if LCT is making that currently, right? If our distributor is able to bring that in, then yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up getting them in, within like the next couple of months, right? I wouldn't be surprised, right? I would not be surprised because, again, for the most part, most LCT products we typically try to carry. It's just a matter of when our distributors can get them. As soon as our distributors can get a certain product in, yeah, for sure, there ain't no problem with us being able to sell. It literally would just be a matter of us adding it to our own website and just displaying it out there, right? But yeah, I don't see any issue with the SVDS series with us not being able to carry it. It might be delayed, if anything, because again, sometimes it can be, a bit of a hassle to bring things overseas. All this stuff is not manufactured here. But, yeah, it shouldn't be any sort of issue. Blake Overcracker, damn, should have waited to pre-order. No worries. I mean, you can always pre-order another. Let's see here. Make sure to see. Virgil Hill, can you tell me anything about the SEMA hop-up with integrated tracer unit? I think I want one. Virgil Hill, I don't personally have too much experience with them other than one or two times I've had a customer come in saying that it actually had a little bit of issues with not being very bright or just completely dying out. Now, I don't have too much experience, so I can't say too much about the integrated trace unit, hop-up unit, just because, again, my experience with it so far has been very limited, and the limited experience I have had with it has been pretty bad. Again, I would have to say maybe do a little more research, see what other customers have to say about that product. But for me personally, I've never really been a fan. Like, I wouldn't want to complicate my hop-up system. Again, if it's going to make it a lot easier to just have an external unit in the first place. It's way more convenient, right? It's going to be way more convenient. I didn't want anything else or adding more complications or anything else that could fail inside of my airsoft gun intentionally. I wouldn't want to do that for me personally. But again, that's an individual preference, right? If you don't mind doing that, then I would say go crazy, go nuts, right? But for me, I'm not convinced for me personally. Let's see. Casper, what's going on? Jason, what's going on, dude? How's everyone doing? It's good to see everyone, man. Gigs drunk on a Saturday and now coffee on a Sunday morning. Can't complain. Perfect weekend. Dude, absolutely. I mean, I guess that's definitely the way to do it, right? Get absolutely blitzed one day and then coffee the next morning. For sure, man. For sure. Definitely one way to wake up in the morning. One local corn dog, guys. Is the AAPO1 the best full auto pistol under 125? That's hard to say because, again, like anyone who knows, right, saying it's the best is like kind of hard. I know that a few things, if you plan on running it solely in full auto, a few things will end up needing to be swapped out. What was it, like the hammer, right? Or like I know the hammer at some point is going to end up like completely going kaput on you. So I would suggest maybe just start stocking up on replacement parts or upgraded components. Thankfully we sell a ton of stuff at Airsoft GI, but just plan on having that because, again, full auto for long periods of time is never a good idea. Okay. Make sure I'm not missing any questions. Okay, should be caught up on those. Scroll down to the most recent comments and questions. And remember, guys, share this around with as many people as you possibly can. The promos above my head are only going to be lasting until 5:30, so make sure you place your orders now while you can. Remember, every $50 place will be getting you 5 entries into the shopping spree giveaway, and place a pre-order for, and again, it can be any pre-order for an MGC4, and you'll be receiving 50 entries. Because, again, the Mark IIs have made it to port. They have definitely made it to port. We got confirmation about this. And we'll be receiving them within the next 2 business days, I believe. And once we receive them, we'll start immediately shipping out and satisfying all those pre-orders. So now's your last chance to go ahead and put your pre-orders in. Just saying, now is definitely your last chance to do it, right? Especially if you want 50, and I do mean 50 entries into the giveaway. Scrolling down to the most recent comments and questions. Actually, that's a very good question too. That is actually a very, very good question. Cisco and I, talked about this, and it's going to be going live on the podcast tomorrow. But Cisco and I actually had a very interesting conversation. We were talking about, how to... It was basically like if you were a newer airsofter or someone who wanted to get started in airsoft, but, you were under the age of 18, meaning you can't buy your own airsoft guns, because the holiday seasons are coming around. How do you convince, your legal guardian, your parent, whoever it might be that's in charge of your mima, whoever it might be, right? How do you convince them to, let you play airsoft? Or better yet, you want to get an airsoft gun, right? If they say, yeah, we want to get you a Christmas present, right? And you say an airsoft gun, right? Because I know a lot of parents out there, are a little bit concerned. Maybe some of them, maybe not all of them might be, completely, not cool with the idea as a whole. A lot of them, I think, are not, opposed to it. They're just a little hesitant. And tomorrow's podcast is basically going to be going over, all the different things you can say to do it. But that's actually a good question that I had for you guys. Were you guys, when you guys got started in airsoft, I guess it depends, right? Whether it be, when you were a kid, right? If you guys, for anyone that started airsofting when you were young, below 18, what was your parents' reaction, and were they, gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna buy you an airsoft gun? For me, I got one. I think my dad helped me out with the cost of one airsoft gun growing up, and then everything else though was literally I had to buy everything on my own because he didn't want to support that. And my mom especially. Oh my God, my mom was not happy that I was into airsoft. She didn't even know what it was, and when I explained it to her, she was like, no, right? She was like, no. She's very anti-gun, right? And I get it, right? She just wants me to be safe. She's nothing but love for my mom. But she was totally opposed to it. It took my dad to convince her to be like, hey, he's mature enough, he's old enough. We're not going to be buying some stuff, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to tell him no, right? Because he had BB guns growing up. But what was your guys' experience with that growing up? Were your parents cool with that? Were they opposed to it? Did you guys have to hide your airsoft guns underneath your beds or something? What was your guys' experience? I'm very curious to hear. Bale Frags, would it be worth it to move to a place that will allow airsoft? I mean, generally speaking, yeah. I mean, I don't know too many states off the top of my head. I'm sure that they exist out there. I just don't know which ones. There are airsoft, there are states that I'm sure that probably don't allow airsoft, but I can't imagine that it'd be something that they would really enforce. Again, I don't know at the end of the day. But if airsoft is, for whatever reason, just not something that you can do in your area, as long as it's within your means, man, that's the biggest thing, right? People want to move all over the place, but sometimes people will make the decision to move even though it's beyond their means. I'm not saying I don't want people not to move. Of course not. People should be able to do and live wherever they want at the end of the day, right? That's a right we all goddamn have. But it is difficult to just say hey, move, just when you tell people, yeah, just move down to California, just move down to Los Angeles, right? When at the end of the day, Los Angeles is what, the third, I think, right? Is it the third? I believe it's the third most expensive city to live in, or county, I guess. Right, that's kind of hard to convince people to do. Now, do I think it's worth it? Yeah, there are a lot of benefits, for people moving to areas where airsoft is a little more popular, for sure. Absolutely, I think it's worth it. But it's also going to depend on your financial situation. Again, what type of means of being able to make money do you have if you want to be able to move to another state or something? Again, it really all depends. But I think personally, yeah, because again, that makes it all kind of worth it at the end of the day, right? No matter how many bad days I might have, or how depressed I might feel some days, or just how shitty I feel, or just how bad life seems, right? Because life can really put you down. Being able to go out and play airsoft is one of those things that just really makes it feel like it's worth it. It really makes it feel like, you know what? This world isn't so shit, right? This world actually is worth living, right? Because not only do you have my family members, but I have something that I do that's going to make me happy, right? And for me, I think it's worth it. Is that Jesse? I can't... Okay, yeah, there's a little smudge on my screen. There we go. Jesse Ray Gaming, what's the best gun to receive as a gift? Ooh, Jesse Ray Gaming, that's a very good question. We've actually gone over this a little bit in our podcasts, and we have plenty of shorts out there, plenty of videos talking about the best airsoft gifts or airsoft gift ideas, right? Really depends on the individual because every person is different, right? It's like saying what's the best Christmas gift to give someone. There really isn't any one best gift. It really depends on the person and what they like and their tastes and all that stuff, right? Now, if you were asking the best airsoft gift as a whole, in my and I am a little biased. I will give you a my biased answer. My biased answer would be to get an MGC4, right? Why? Because again, it's just the best high-end AEG that you can really get right now, right? At that best performance out of the box, right? For a stock gun, for an absolutely stock gun, right? Absolutely, 100%. But it depends on your budget. Not everyone realistically can afford a $300 airsoft gun, especially if it's their first one, right? I mean, if you do, that's awesome, man. More power to you, right? That's incredible, right? Especially in this economy, right? And if you can do it, then by all means, I highly recommend it, right? But if you were on a very limited budget, right, you couldn't spend more than $200 for everything, then yeah, I would say maybe start looking at some other options. So it depends on the budget, depends on where you're playing, depends on the individual as well that you're gifting it to, what their preferences are. Those are all things to take into consideration. If you really want to stack them up and for something this Christmas and you're just not too sure, I would say get him some gift vouchers. If you guys didn't know, gift voucher store credit actually does qualify for the shops for giveaway. So if you place an order for like a $20 gift voucher, right, an Airsoft GI, yeah, that's gonna cost us that's gonna count as an entry towards the giveaway. And same thing right now, right? Because of the promo going on, right? Every $50 getting you 5 entries. You get a $50 gift voucher through Airsoft GI that you want to gift someone. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. That will count towards the giveaway, and you'll be getting the 5 entries in, right? Because that counts. The only thing that doesn't count is using a gift voucher balance to buy more gift vouchers. That's not going to work. Don't try it. We look at all the orders. It doesn't happen, right? But yeah, I would say if you want to play it safe, do gift voucher, maybe for like $100, right? That way you can get up to 10 entries into the giveaway, and then he can use that for whatever he wants on Airsoft GI. That would be the safe bet. Daniel Torres, is that an airsoft sword over your left shoulder? No, it's not an airsoft sword. This is just a foam and little plastic sword that I bought off of Amazon a while back. It's pretty fun, right? It's just something to have, right, for like mostly like cosplay use and just to have on me. Also, I forgot to bring it out. That and my lightsaber, I forgot to bring them both out to BB Wars, and I saw Airsoft Samurai. I was like, fuck. I should have. If I had my stuff on there, I would have challenged him 100%. He'd probably kick my ass, but still, I just want to see how far I can get. Okay, this one comes from Blake. What do you think of the MGCR 556 from G&G? Mostly concerning your opinions of durability of it long term. I'm kind of hyped. Okay, let's pull it up, shall? Why don't we? Let's pull it up. G&G. Pull this up here. Right. Okay. G&G. Is it MRC or MCR? No. G&G. I'm just gonna type in G&G 556. Should show up. As soon as this loads. Internet has been really, really slow recently, unfortunately. Okay. Wait, no, that's the SGR. Is this the SGR? No. Which one is it? I know which one you're talking about. Where is it? Ah, where'd it go? All right, I'm just gonna type that in. G&G, right? MRC? No, MCR. I'm gonna type in MCR, see what happens. That is the wrong thing. That is the absolutely wrong thing. Okay, to answer your thing, I actually do like it, right? I know which exact model you're talking about. For whatever it's just not showing up. I actually do like the 556 from G&G. It's got that G&G like durable pull, and I do mean durable. That thing is built Tonka tough, man. Like, if you're talking about the durability of the externals, then you're fine. If you're talking about the durability of the internals, they're okay as well. My biggest thing with the G&Gs is that they definitely felt a little bit pricey for what it is. That one's not the worst case. That's for sure not the worst case. But I just feel like it could have added a little bit more value there. But again, I'm not tripping too much. You know what I mean? And what is it? CMR? No. Hold on. I'm gonna type this in. G&G. I'm gonna find it. G&G. Where'd it go? MGCR. I don't think that's the right. Yeah, that's not the G&G MRC. Is it MRC? Oh, their naming system is absolute garbage, man. I hate how they do. Okay, I'm just gonna type in 556, right? G&G. GG. See what happens. MCP. Right? Unless you're talking about the SGR. As well. Again, it depends. You might be confusing two different models here. Yeah, I mean, either way, most of the G&G stuff, like, again, it's for in terms of durability, yeah, they're solid, man. There's really nothing to be worried about when it comes to the G&G stuff. The only thing with G&G that I ever had a problem with was, one, their pricing, and then two, when their first models that had their ETU pre-installed already in the box, when they had those and they put those out on the market, the ETU was very, very fragile, and it would burn out fairly quickly. However, since 2018, I want to say 2019, they've definitely improved their ETUs, and they're a lot better. I haven't had that issue in years. I haven't heard of anyone having that issue in literally years. So you should be set, man. You should be set. Okay, make sure it was in Darwin. What's going on, dude? How you doing, bro? Sup, dudes? Question, do you have any recommendations for a new Glock 17 Gen 3 slide with an armor cutout, and do you think your SPI would carry any more Gen 3 slides? Slides are tough, man. Slides are tough to carry. Like, we don't really carry too many anymore. For any recommendation for a new Glock 17 Gen 3 slide with an armor cutout, that's tough. I don't think we currently have one, unfortunately, Danny. I do apologize. I don't think we currently have one right now. As far as any recommendations, I guess it ultimately depends on the brand itself, really. Yeah, but finding one that's like an actual, like a Gen 3 with the armor cutout, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I don't think, nothing comes to mind. If I do think of one, I will let you know, Danny. But as of right now, I don't think we currently have one. Jesse Ray Gaming, what's the average price for a GBBR? That's a very good question too, actually. Average price for a GBR, it depends on the brand, really, because they can range, right? They can really range. I would say, I'll give you the average price for a good GBR. Average price, I would say, is like maybe $350 to $400. I would say that's like about average price for a GBR. Just because, again, like, there are some GBRs that you can get for less. Like, I won't lie, the Golden Eagle, gas electric rifles that we sell on our site, they're fun. They're fun guns if you're only going to be using them in your backyard, and that was about it, right? Just as a novelty to have. But if you're looking for something really reliable, you're really not going to find much under the $300 price point, unfortunately. WeTech is a great example of something that, like, a brand that you can go with for GVRs that, can cost a little bit more, but they definitely are a lot more reliable, and there's a lot more parts for them because the Golden Eagles are using the Western Arms gas system, which is a very outdated system. It's not bad. It is, by no means is it a bad system. The mags, I honestly would say, are the worst part about it. But yeah, WeTech is definitely going to be a manufacturer, that has parts that are still being made for it. I would say if you want the best of the best, go with Tokyo Marui, or you can even go KWA. I know there's people are going to say TM over KW. I know some people will say KW over TM, but really depends on who you ask. But I think objectively, it goes WeTech. Barely passing it, though, and I do mean barely, would be KWA, and I actually do like KWA a lot. And then I would say at the very tippity top would be Tokyo Marui. Their MWS system is it's solid, man. It's solid. It's super reliable, and the performance that you can get out of it is insane, right? Not saying that you can't soup up a WeTech or a KWA. Of course you can. Absolutely you can. But with an MWS, it's just insane, right? It is absolutely insane. With minimal parts, you can get that thing to be shooting absolutely like a dream, right? All right, next question. Gigs, what makes you enjoy playing a support role with a heavy gun, Isaias? Ooh, that's actually a very good question, Gigs. So, I think it's more so just interesting for me, right? Like, I like doing, and it's not just only heavy gun. I've kind of like branded myself as the heavy gunner, right? Just because there's not too many guys that like want to take on that responsibility of being a force multiplier, of having the burden of having to carry around something super freaking heavy and cumbersome, like an LMG, right, or an MMG. I don't mind doing it because, again, I like challenging myself. I like pushing myself. I tell people all the time, I want to get a workout in whenever I play Airsoft, right? I want to be able to sweat at the end of the day. I want to feel like, oh, man, like I'm just, dripping in sweat right now, right? That's a good feeling, right? Because even when I'm having fun, I'm still, like, exercising in a sense, right? And that's why I like carrying the heavy guns. In a way, it's kind of like strength training, right? Because you're having to, like, run with this 20-pound, sometimes even heavier, like, gun on my back, right? Like, absolutely, I would love to do it. Not to mention all the kit that I'm wearing. But it's just fun to do something different, right? And it's not like I solely run heavy guns. I will run DMRs, too. I will run DMRs, and that's fun as well. I like changing it up intentionally, because if I run the same things over and over and over again, then it just feels like, yeah, like you're going to get bored. And I feel like that's one thing that a lot of people do. I notice when people get out of the hobby, they'll say like, oh yeah, it's just kind of boring now, right? And then generally that's a lot of hobbies, right? There's this whole study, right, where it's like shows that like within the first 2 years is when a player is most active and spends the most money within their hobby, right? Within the first 2 years, right? And then if you can make it past that, then there's a high likelihood for you to be in this hobby for a long period of time, even if you take breaks, right? But what I notice is that a lot of guys that get out of the hobby, they're just bored. And then I look at the guns and the way that they're playing, I'm like, yeah, it's because they're playing with essentially the same gun over and over again. And again, if that's all that people want to do, have just one gun, that's totally okay, right? But I do believe that it is a contributing factor as to why players can be so bored with Airsoft or feel like it might get stagnant. Right? It doesn't change. It doesn't evolve. It doesn't turn into anything else, right? They're just going with literally. You guys had this, right? When you play games online, right? When any sort of like FPS or any sort of competitive shooter, right? You go with the meta, right? You go with the meta because that's like, oh, it's the easiest thing to do. It's it's the best, but everyone's running it, so it just feels kind of boring now. There's no fun. There's no uniqueness at all. There's no creativity. None at all, right? So running something different and playing a completely different class is very fun to me, right? It is very fun because I have limitations now that maybe other players wouldn't have. But I also have some things that, I can contribute to a team now that a regular rifleman wouldn't be able to. And it's not even like a dig at rifleman. I'll still play the regular rifleman role too. I'll play everything. I'll literally play every role. It just keeps it interesting for me, honestly. Make sure I miss anything. What's your this comes from Raining Down Lead. What's your favorite GBR and how do you make gas mags last longer? That's a very good question, Raining Down Lead. My favorite GBR, personally, like as far as like my private collection, I only have one GBR. Well, that's not true. I have two. I used to have three. I literally used to have a Western Arms. I had like a Walk. I think it was a G&P that was gifted to me. Same thing with a WeTech. I have a WeTech Knights PDW, but I don't really use those. And the freaking Walk that I had, the freaking G&P, I got rid of that a while ago. Like I gave that away because I was like, I'm not liking this. It's not fun, right? I don't have to worry about this and have to spend so much money in upgrades, right, just to get it to perform at the same level as my KWA LM4. If I had to pick my favorite, it would probably be the KWA LM4. But again, that's completely subjective. Like everyone has their own opinions on what they think is the best. I think if we're just talking about sheer performance and potential, I would say, and convenience of parts, I would say the MWS from Tokyo Marui is definitely the best. Yeah, it costs a lot of money. I get it. I totally understand that. But it is worth it. At the end of the day, it is worth it, right? Blake Overacker, what is the inner barrel length of the MGC4 Mark II? I want to say it's like going to be around 360, 370, if I'm not mistaken. That's going to be like standard like carbine length, I believe. So go with the 370 for the Unicorn, and you should be solid. Go for the 370, you should be solid for the Mark II. Jesse Ray Gaming, hey, I have Airsoft tomorrow. Do you have any tips for me? I saw that Nathan, that was actually a very good tip. Wear eye protection. Safety first. That's the biggest thing, yes. Make sure that you're following all the rules when it comes to, your PPE, your face protection, your eye pro. If you haven't already, read the field's website if they have one, or their rules, and see what's required. If there's any piece of equipment that you need to bring. Most fields typically will say, just eye protection of some kind. If not, you can also rent stuff there. But I would say if in terms of just playing tips, bring plenty of water, right? Even if it's cold, where you might be playing. At the end of the day, we end up going through burning a lot of energy throughout the day. So just make sure you have water, maybe something to snack on too in between like sessions. All right, maybe if it's just like a Lunchable or something, granola bar, maybe something that doesn't have a whole lot of sugar, right? But just something to kind of just satiate your hunger a little bit throughout the day, right? Some fields will have like pizza or like some other snacks there, which are they'll get the job done, but they're not the healthiest thing. And if you eat a little too much of it, you might feel like super sluggish when you're playing. It's not a good feeling. It's just not a good feeling to have. So what I would suggest is, like, again, bring some very easy to digest snacks, maybe, or even like some fruit too if you got that. That's always really nice. Right? Like orange slices. That's like, oh, it's amazing on a hot day after airsofting. I gotta tell you, orange slices, yes, please, that's so good. All right. But I would also say, like, in terms of gameplay, just don't be afraid. Right, you're gonna get shot, and it's gonna be a little like nervous, you know what I mean? But like, I would suggest just don't be afraid to get shot and communicate with your team, right? Like say, hey, if you want to clear this building, work with a group of guys to do it. That way, again, you can complete the objective of clearing out this building, right? Because if you just go in by yourself and try to, a one-man army the whole thing, odds are it's probably not going to go in your favor, right? Not saying that you can't be good. Of course you can, but still, you better have the odds in your favor. Why not, right? All right, let's see. Let's keep scrolling up. Keep scrolling up. Okay, should be caught up with all those. Okay, no, answer that one as well. Okay, I think we should be caught up on those. Let's scroll down to the most recent questions and comments. And remember, the question I had for a lot of you guys when it came to getting started in Airsoft, did you guys receive any sort of flack from your folks, whether it be your parents, maybe even your significant other, right? But whoever it might be, right? But this question was more mainly towards, like, I guess, guys that were under 18 when they started airsofting, right? Did you receive any sort of shit from your parents for asking, for airsoft guns for Christmas? Did you have to try to convince them? Or were your parents actually really cool with you playing airsoft? I'm actually genuinely curious what you guys have to say. I've gone over my experience, but again, I want to hear what you guys have been through. Jesse Ray Gaming, what's the best attachments for an intermediate like me? Good question, Jesse Ray Gaming. It really depends. Again, I feel like a broken record. I do not want to sound annoying. I'm so sorry. But it really does depend on the player. You're saying it's indoor CQB. Okay, so if you're playing indoors, levels doesn't really matter too much in terms of like experience level, but I think one of the most useful, or I guess the two most useful attachments or accessories you can get for your airsoft gun in a CQB environment would have to be, let's see here, let's go here, would have to be probably a tracer unit or a flashlight of some kind. Now me, I'm partial to tracer units, because I think being able to see the exact trajectory of your BBs, right, in a nice illuminated like beam, essentially, right, just shooting literal laser beams, I think that's super useful. It's super handy. It's honestly a really, really cool tool to use. Now, unfortunately, tracers do work both ways, right? But just like you can see where your BBs are going, other people can see where your BBs are going as well, right? And they can trace it back to you. So that is one downside. The other accessory that I would highly recommend that you pick up would probably be a flashlight. Right? We carry tons of different flashlights on our site as well. Just find one that like works for your needs as well. But there are a ton of flashlights that we have, even flashlight mounts for pressure switches as well. But yeah, we got tons of that online right now. So I highly recommend you check that out and see which one is best going to suit your needs. Flashlights are great for temporarily disorientating opponents if you're turning a corner, if you're moving up, right, and you see someone, just quickly flash them, right? It's like a deer in the headlights every single time. Those are probably the two most like useful and practical accessories you can get. Then I would say maybe a foregrip of some kind if you really wanted it, but it really depends on the person and how much weight you want to put on your gun too. That video y'all did on airsoft foods was great, Casper. Oh yeah, that's right. That's actually right. I forgot we did that, dude. That was interesting. I remember when that came out. That was hilarious, right? Talking about all the food tier list, right? I gotta tell you guys, like honestly, after playing airsoft, right, after a full day of play, nothing beats like going out with the homies for like a bite to eat. First of all, I am genuinely under the belief that food tastes better. Even though I can cook like very, very good food, and I've eaten by myself before, and it was delicious, food just always feels and tastes better when you're with friends and when you're with company. I will die on that hill if I have to, right? And when you go out and play airsoft with your homies and then you decide to grab a bite to eat after, just nothing beats it, man. Nothing beats that. I saw you had another question, Casper. What and how heavy is your heaviest Milsim loadout? Any plans for the next MSW event to attend? Yeah, actually. I am hopefully going to be able to make it out to the next Milsim West event that's happening out in February. It's actually around the time of my birthday, too, so that'll be very cool to go airsofting on my birthday. But as far as how heavy, well, the gun is 22 pounds. Like, my Mark 46 is 22 pounds. How heavy is all my gear? I've never weighed my gear, to be honest. That's a very good question. I've never weighed all of my gear. Clothing itself, I don't know if that really counts, so I guess it's just more ultimately down to like chest rig, any sort of extra. My ruck, I think, weighs maybe like 5-6 pounds, maybe. It doesn't really feel too heavy. I think it's heavier when I have my spare gun in there. So I'm looking at like maybe 10-ish pounds maybe on my back, maybe that. Again, I've never really weighed it all out. But I'll have like my spare rifle, change of clothes. That includes socks, extra undies, food and water for 3 days, right? It might be a little over 10. It might be a little over 10 now that I'm thinking about it in my head. Because I also carry the spare gun in the ruck as well. And then other equipment like lights and stuff. Just other equipment you might need when you're out there, right? Cold weather gear sometimes. Wet weather gear if I need it. If I don't already have it on my person. So I think in total we're looking at like anywhere from like fuck, this is hard to say. Anywhere from like 30 to 50 pounds maybe? Anywhere from 30 to 50 pounds on me potentially. Yeah, like a lot of the gear, like it doesn't seem like much individually, but when you start adding it all up, yeah, it can weigh a lot. It can weigh a lot. Okay, this one comes from DA Airsoft. I have not played Airsoft in like 5 months. The problem is that I live in southern Utah. Do you know of any fields? I'm so sorry, DA Airsoft. I am not familiar with the Utah scene in terms of Airsoft, right? I don't know what that scene is like. I would say, if anything, DA Airsoft, go onto our Discord server. We actually have different text channels. You can go on the general if you wanted to, but I would suggest events and fields chat. Go there and then, ask around like, hey, I live in the southern Utah area. Are there any airsoft fields around me? Or any fields around the area in general, right? I mean, also, you can go Google Maps, right? Or you can just go on your phone, airsoft fields around me. And then you can see what their what sort of issues there might be. Yeah. I don't know of any fields in that area, dude. I am so sorry. All right, keep scrolling through. Personally, I'm a slow-going speed softer who Milsims cosplays and does CQB each weekend. Yeah, no, that sounds about right. That sounds about right, Casper. Let's see here. Jesse Ray Gaming, please be nice to other members in the chat, please, Jesse Ray Gaming. If you continue to be mean, we will have to kick you. So please be nice. Okay, Snakebite. Do the 20th anniversary boxes still have 20 entries? The silver 20th anniversary mystery box actually has 15 right now. It has 15 entries. Right now, they are going for 15 entries only because of the promo. It's above my head right now. Every $50 placed will get you 5 entries into the giveaway. Normally, the mystery box only gets you 10, but during the live stream, it gets you 15. So only 15. Okay, make sure I'm not missing anything. What do you think would be the best way to play? Speedsoft, Milsim, or CQB? Just your gaming, that question is a good one, actually. It depends on the individual and what they like. I would say kind of maybe weigh out your expectations, pros and cons to either side, right? If you wanted to do more fast pace, quicker, easy pickup games, then I would say maybe indoor like CQB style play is more your jam. However, if you want to be able to play more, maybe at your own pace, if you want to see a little bit more like realistic aspects being thrown into your gameplay, then I would say maybe, Milsim / just regular outdoor play might be your thing, right? There's different ways you can do it regardless of what field you go to. I'll bring out the full kit, right? I'll bring out my whole quote unquote Milsim kits out to like a CQB field. Like I'll do okay. I don't do great. I do okay. Right? But in terms of just ways to play, there's so many different ways. I like to change it up too. As much as I love going to outdoor fields, I will try to make it a thing for myself to go to an indoor field several times throughout the year just to brush up right on my CQB skills, because there's always room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. I'm not the best CQB player, but it helps to be able to just practice. So when I do go to a Milsim event where there are, areas like urban fighting, like George Air Force Base, for example, right, where it's a lot of CQB, it's going to be a lot easier for me to do it, right? I have the leg up on a lot of the other player base there. Okay, make sure I'm not missing anything. Hillbilly TV, what's going on, man? Good to see you again. I ordered my first airsoft gun, the Kalashnikov 103FS. I'm excited to get it, but my question is, what battery would be good for this? Afraid to use a level 1 LiPo that says peeps say don't. Okay, so that's actually a very good question, and good choice, actually. The Kalashnikov USA licensed AKs are fantastic. I love those guns. Could you use an 11.1 LiPo? Yes. However, for me, for right now, if you don't want to risk it, especially if you're more of a cautious person, I would say go for like a 7.4, right? Go for a 7.4 LiPo battery, 4-volt LiPo. I really like going with the Echo 1s because they're very, very thin. And they fit nicely into that little cavity that the 103 provides. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. 1 second here. Okay, yeah, this is the one. I would highly recommend going with this one. These batteries are very thin. They're long, but they are thin. This should fit inside of the most AKs very easily, very, very easy, considering how thin of a battery this is. This would, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and link that for you right now. Oh, you guys can go see it right there, right there. Sweet. Okay. It's in the chat, so if you want to see it, it's right there. That's what I would recommend. That's the battery that I would recommend for it. Okay, make sure I'm missing anything. Oof. Apologies for that. Gnarls, have you done an insurgency event at MSW? Yes, Gnarls, I have actually. Oof. I had a Tums. I don't know why I'm a little gassy today. Yeah, I've done both the Force on Force events and insurgencies. And Milsom West. It's been very fun. I've had a lot of fun doing both. I think between the two, which do I prefer? I think I prefer maybe doing... Okay, I prefer Force on Force to an extent, right? I prefer Force on Force because it's definitely a, like, hey, there's no question about it. If they're not NATO, kill them, right? 100%. If they're not NATO, then you just kill them, right? It's a very straightforward and very simplistic event at the end of the day. It's just a really large-scale, very organized, with a chain of command, Force on Force event, right? Which is what I kind of like. But, you know, an insurgency can be very fun too, right? An insurgency can swing either way. It can be a slower event, or it can be like action-packed. I've had the experience of doing both, right? Some of the events that I've went to, I hardly saw combat, right? I hardly saw combat at all. It was definitely happening around me, and it was definitely a vibe for sure, you know, just seeing all the different businesses, right? Very much more of a LARPing sort of event at the insurgency, which is fun. I love that, right? Absolute blast. Even the last time that I went to an MSW for an insurgency, right? But I've also been to other insurgencies where it was like nonstop, like I'm on the clock, like, you know, this is when my team and I went as a PMC for a lot of the for some of the politicians that were there, for a lot of the NATO aligned politicians at MSW, right? Or all cadre, and we were their security guards, right? And it was super fun, but they were constantly being targeted, they were constantly being headhunted, so we were always in a gunfight. For longtime viewers of the stream, you guys know that I've gone over the story plenty of times of the 13 hours experience that me and my team had, when it was a 3-hour gunfight, just being held up in a in an embassy, right? That's fun. That's super, super fun. I think for me though, I think overall, I think I generally prefer the Force on Force events, just because it's simple, right? There's not a whole lot. Hey, here's your orders. Go out there and kill some Russians. You know, like absolutely. I think I prefer those, but again, both are very fun. Both are very, very fun. DA Airsoft, how do you get sponsors from a big company like you, or from big companies like you? Good question, DA Airsoft. So the way sponsorships work, and this is pretty not just for Airsoft, this has to go like in every industry, whether it be for gaming, whether it be for any sort of sporting event, you have to have be recognizable, be a face in the community, right? So again, someone that has influence, right? That's why they're called influencers, right? Someone that, you know, has a presence, whether it be in the community, social media, right? Someone that's going to be able to spread the word, whether it be selling certain products or recommending brands or whatever it might be, right? Whatever, again, the terms and service of the agreement or the deal might be. You have to be able to have a social media presence of some kind. You have to be able to promote the business, because again, that's what the whole point of the sponsorship. We want, as a business, your name to go out there, right, to reach the members of the community and to outreach and to be able to draw in more business, whether it be through direct sales, through guns, tactical gear, whatever it might be, all right? But, you know, the job of the influencer would be to do that, right? Be able to go out and spread that word and be able to push their said products and or services, right? But having a presence is the biggest thing, right? And I don't mean like, oh yeah, I have like 100 followers or something. No offense to anyone that does, but you know, that's not really what companies are looking for, right? And this goes for pretty much every industry. Again, this goes for pretty much every industry, especially if you're looking for like some of those sweeter sponsorship deals, right? Where you're getting like, oh yeah, I get these guns to review or something, right? Yeah, that you have to be able to have a pretty big following on some social media platform, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, if you wanted to, or you know, even TikTok. Any of those platforms, you generate enough of a you know, I guess of a platform, right, for yourself to push, you know, things. And yeah, absolutely, that's something that a company would show interest in, right? But you have to be able to have the presence. Okay, make sure it's just going through. Make sure it's through. Okay, answered all those. All right, sweet. We should be caught up on those. Guys, remember to go ahead and share this live stream around with as many people as possible. Again, we looks like we're sitting at the 20-ish viewer count, but we're only at 16 likes. We're only at 16? Guys, come on. Make sure to go ahead and leave a thumbs up on this live stream. What are you doing? Putting out all this great content for you guys, right? Want to go ahead and make sure that we give out all this amazing information out there for you guys. But, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button, right? Though we know that you guys like what you guys are seeing. And share this around. Let's get all eyes on this live stream, why don't you, right? If you know anyone that's at all getting started in Airsoft or anyone that plays Airsoft as is right now, make sure to let them know that, again, the deals going on at GI are insane. Every $50 placed will be getting them 5 entries in the shopping spree giveaway. I have the examples above my head. And every pre-order for an MGC4, right? Any pre-order for an MGC4 will be getting them 50 entries, 50 chances of winning $1,800 all for themselves. So don't miss out. Place your orders now while you guys can. Remember, the question for you guys was, what was your guys' experience when bringing up Airsoft to your parents or to your legal guardians? For all my guys that started Airsofting when they were younger, right? Were your parents opposed to it? Did they say no? Did you guys have to try to sneak Airsoft guns? Like, what was your overall experience? I am genuinely curious. Let me know down in the live chat. Let's see here. Let's keep scrolling through. Ozpull said, gotta love a live stream. Good to see you. I always appreciate it. Homie AB, yes. Let's see here. Hillbilly TV. So is there a way for me to see how many entries I have on my side? The gun was 180, so I'm figuring like 15. So if your gun was 180, yes, that is 15 entries. If you bought that during this stream right now, yes, absolutely. You got yourself 15 entries in the shopping spree giveaway, right? It's going to be through your order number and the time it's placed. If you ever want to go ahead and just double check, you guys can, right? If you ever wanted to go ahead and just confirm how many entries you have, let us know what your order number are that you've placed during the week time frame. DM us, Instagram, Facebook, Discord with those order numbers, and yeah, we can let you know exactly whether or not you qualified for the multiple entries. But if you're placing the order during the time frame, yeah, guaranteed you're gonna get those entries. You are gonna get those entries. Casper, yes. Thank you, man. You are taking the words out of my companies. Expect a financial return for the sponsorship of you. If your reach cannot achieve that for them, they won't do it. Yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell exactly what it is, right? Sometimes it's not even always direct financial too, right? It doesn't always mean like, oh yeah, they're selling stuff for us. It's more so just like, again, the reach that they have, being able to spread the word, if it will, right? That's just the biggest thing. Okay, let's keep scrolling through. That's 20 intervention sniper officer. Keeps making me want to say what's in caps. Let's see, make sure through. Hillbilly TV, thank you. No, of course, man. Anytime. Ozpol set. I'm so sorry if I keep mispronouncing your name, man. I do apologize. We only have Jailsoft over here. Dude, I'm sorry. That sucks, man. Where are you at, OZ Pulse set? Where are you at, actually? Or is it OZ Pulse SE1? I believe so. Where are you at, actually? That's actually very interesting. Jailsoft, it looks fun, right? Like, Jailsoft definitely looks very, very fun. Yeah, I definitely prefer Airsoft. But again, it can always be fun, right? I'm always down for a game, right? If anyone has any gel blasters, right? Whenever I go over to a friend's house, if anyone has any gel blasters, I'd be more than down to go ahead and play a few matches of Jailsoft. Does it hurt like Airsoft does, like where it does a little stinging, or does it hurt less, or does it hurt more, like paintball? Also very curious about that too, right? I've never actually been shot by one. I've shot people with it, but I've never been shot by one. Okay, let's see here. What's the green sniper rifle? Green sniper rifle. You mean the tan one? That is an intervention. That is an intervention M200 M200 sniper intervention sniper rifle. As an old one that the stores had for a while. Okay, let's see here. Make sure there's anything. If there's anything, keep going through. I skip lunch on game days, and dinner afterwards is always fire, no matter how bad it actually is. Dude, I actually get that. I totally get that, actually. Like, on game days, I actually don't. Again, this is just because I'm insane, but I don't eat anything for breakfast. I don't eat anything at all, right? I literally starve myself. Granted, that's my normal diet anyway, right? I usually try to only eat once a day because I work out. Like in the mornings, or sometimes I work out at night, but I typically try to have like a pretty good workout sesh, only eating once. I'm really trying to be on a caloric deficit, but even for playing games, right, like I might have a little bit of lunch, right, like might just be a granola bar, or orange slices. Again, I love me some orange slices, even a banana, right? Honestly, just have like a nice banana like on me, like that's delicious. I might if anything eat that, and that's like about it. Like for the remainder of the day until dinner time, right? Absolutely, absolutely. I can attest to that. And again, when you're with friends too, it doesn't matter how bad it is too. You know what's funny, Casper? When we went to Coastal Front, we kept striking out, man. Like Boss Man and kept choosing all these different restaurants, right? And for whatever reason, we just had the worst of luck. They just weren't it. Like they weren't terrible by any means, but they definitely were not at the same level that we're used to, right? Like went to a Thai restaurant, right? Went to a Thai restaurant on the day that we were driving up to U.S. Airsoft World, right? Driving up to the hotel. And man, oh man, that Thai restaurant was like, they just kind of missed the mark. It was a little too sweet. Now you can tell they definitely like it's definitely not authentic, right? Like they modified the taste for sure, in order to to satisfy their local customers, right? But it's too sweet. There's no spice. It wasn't spicy. Way too sweet. I almost didn't see any chilies at all, right? And it's Thai food, right? It's Thai food. It has to be spicy. But there was that, and then on the day of, right, after the game, after BB Wars, we went to this like, oh man, it was pretty bad. It was like this. I believe it was a half Japanese, like half sushi, half Korean barbecue restaurant, right? And then we're like, okay, a little interesting, but I'm down, right? I love K barbecue. We're all used to K barbecue here. We went there. Oh man, that shit wasn't it, right? It was super pricey. It was super expensive, and they didn't even give you that much at all at once. Too. We actually got kicked out. We actually got kicked out too. They were saying, "Oh yeah, there's a limit," and I'm like, "Bruh, come on now." Like, it was absolutely terrible. It was still good and it was still delicious nonetheless because again, I was starving at that point and I really could have used some food. And I just loved hanging out with everyone at BB Wars as well. But yeah, no, definitely wasn't it. The best meal we had during that whole trip was when we went to a freaking Denny's on the last day when we were driving back down. We all hit up a Denny's, and that was like the best Denny's I've had in a long time. Absolutely. Let me tell you, time plays because the fan feels. Okay, answer that one. Okay, work week is smooth for me. Absolutely. Let's see, make sure. Okay, I'm gonna make sure we're scrolling through. Okay, I should be caught up. I believe I should be caught up. Okay, but no, I'm 24 and Airsoft helps me get a lot of aggression out, so I'm much more docile and level-headed. No, okay. No, I get that. Like, again, there is a level of, like, aggression that I think we all have, whether we realize it or not. Humans are vicious creatures sometimes, man. But Hillbilly TV, you're right. It definitely helps, especially me too. Like, I get a lot of, like, anger out. Sometimes when I'm very, very frustrated, like, throughout the week, being able to go to Airsoft, like, I come back, and even my fiance will say, you look so much happier right now. You look so much happier. You look a lot, like, you feel a lot less intense when you speak. I'm generally a mellow guy, right? I'm generally, freaking wires. I don't know how Cisco has it set up. Right, I'm generally a mellow guy when it comes to, like, how I speak, how I talk to people, and just my overall demeanor. But when it's been a very busy week or I'm very stressed out and tired, like you can tell that like I just have this aura around me that's just like I'm just like grumpy or I'm upset, right? Going airsofting like washes me away. Like I'm almost like baptized at that point. All that shit goes away. All right, let's keep going through. Okay, answer that one. Miss Casper was worried about the welts and possible injuries, but she's come around. No, I get that. Yeah, again, when you have like little welts like that, yeah, it can be a little concerning. I actually had a friend who his parents told him specifically this is when I was in high school, he wasn't allowed to play Airsoft because of all the welts they left. And he's like, why? It's going to heal. And he's like, it's not because of that. Because all the neighbors are going to assume that we're like putting cigarette burns or putting out our cigarette butts on you, right? We're just lighting them on you. And it's like, what the heck? How would you even, like, I wouldn't have even thought, like, considered that, right? But I guess maybe that could be a thing as well. Maybe. All right, let's see here. Let's scroll down to the most recent. Oh, looks like we got $20 donation from Brewer. My man, thank you. You did not have to go ahead and give that $20 donation, man. You did not have to do that, but much appreciated, dude. I much appreciate that. Okay, so just popping to say thank you for the gifts and being awesome. Love you, man. Of course, man, always good. A pleasure to see you and Seabass. Guys, if you didn't know, Brewer's kid, Seabass, it is actually his birthday. He just turned 16, I think. Was it 16 or was it 15? I don't remember. But yeah, he just turned. I'm gonna say 15. I'm gonna say 15. So everyone, if you can, wish him a happy birthday. I don't know if Seabass is watching the stream right now, but just in case he is, Seabass, happy birthday. Hope you have a wonderful birthday, and hope the birthday gift that I got you serves you well. Again, I threw a few patches in there, a few some stickers as well. So happy birthday, man. Hope you have a really good birthday. This keeps going through. Keeps going through. Have to head out, my boy Seabass, to dinner. Want to show his appreciation. Have a great night, fellas. Have a great night, Brewer. Hopefully, you and Seabass are having a you and Seabass have a fantastic time at the Olive Garden, man. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Rubber Duck, what is the best rifle gun? Rubber Duck, very interesting question. Depends on what you mean by best, right? Now, if you're asking what the best performing and best bang for your buck is in terms of high-end AEGs, 100% would have to be the MGC4s, right? The MGC4s, for sure, right now, are definitely going to be the best bang for your buck high-end AEG. You know, they come in the Mark 1 and the Mark 2 configuration. I'm more partial to the Mark 2. This one's on a sale right now. Ooh, this one's discounted right now. Guys. MGC4s? Actually, no, it's not discounted anymore. Dang it. I thought it was. Oh, well. But even then, at $315, holy shit. Like, this gun should be way more expensive, all things considered, right? This thing performs solid, shoots fast, nice crisp trigger, nice good range, right? Very efficient. Again, it's just like one of the best guns that you can buy out of the box, right? It doesn't need anything. If anything, maybe a unicorn type or inner barrel, but that's about it. That's literally about it. This gun is great to shoot out of the box, and it dominates the field, too. You don't believe me? Ask the guys that actually own the MGC4, and they will tell you exactly what their experience has been. And the cool thing is that these have actually, I know the pre-order they're on pre-order status right now, but they actually just arrived at port. Our shipment arrived at port, I believe, yesterday. And we should be receiving them in, I believe, Tuesday, maybe Monday. But as soon as we receive them in, we're going to start immediately shipping them out. So make sure to place your pre-orders, especially right now, because, again, promo above my head, right? You'll be receiving 50 entries into the Shopping Spree giveaway if you place your pre-order during the time frame of this live stream. Same thing with the other promo, right? Every order placed before 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time will receive 5 entries into the giveaway. Right, spend $50, 5 entries. Get it to 100, that's 10 entries. 150, that's 15. You guys get the idea. If you guys want the best deal right now, place your order for a Silver 20th Anniversary Mystery Box version 2. Right, normally gets you 10 entries, but right now, only during the stream, gets you 15, right? And you're guaranteed to win something off this list. The lowest costing prize is $20 more expensive than the cost of the box itself, right? You can see it right here. Lowest costing price you can win. Arcturus LWT, it's $175. The box is $155. Yeah, no matter what you get, it's going to be a guaranteed victory, right? But you order this, you get 15 chances of winning. And again, guys, we have less than an hour left. We have 58 minutes left of the stream. So make sure that you place your orders now. Take advantage of all the opportunities that you guys are given. Don't let them go to waste, right? Do not let them go to waste, right? Take advantage now while you guys can, and don't miss out. All right. Let's keep going through. Mitchell McKenna is one of the MDC. I think I saw one for $2.99, but noticed it disappeared yesterday morning. Yeah, I think it was discounted for a little bit, but then it just went away. I think. Let me double check. Are any of them? Because again, when they are, it's like definitely something you want to take advantage. Okay, so some of them are, but they're going to be the P plus models, or they're going to be like the combos. They are discounted. But the base models, I believe, right now are not discounted. So, but then again, honestly, $315 is still a fantastic deal. And again, if you guys want to get a little bit of the discount, coupon code 20th guaranteed to get you 10% off. As long as it's not a shocker deal or it's a mystery box, you will be getting 10% off. You're welcome. Keeps going through. Most of our GATs are airsoft conversions these days, even GBR rifles and SMGs. Oof. Australia, Queensland. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, all right. That makes total sense now. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. That freaking sucks, dude. That freaking sucks. Darwin's Arbiter. Ever done a Brazilian steakhouse? I've done steakhouses before, but never a Brazilian steakhouse, actually. That sounds very good. That sounds delicious. I know my dad's done it a couple of times, and he always recommends it. Generally speaking, when it comes to like doing steak, I usually prefer, in most meals, you know what? This is how I know I'm getting old. I'm becoming my parents, right? I do the freaking like mom thing where it's like, when the kid's like, oh, I want, cheeseburgers or I want McDonald's. I'm like, oh, we got that at home, right? I can make that at home, right? I'm literally that. My girlfriend will be like, she's very much, she loves eating out. She loves going out to different restaurants. But I am definitely more of a, like, I'm just going to go home and cook that, right? No matter what meal it is or what dish it is, I can find ways of making this, right? And that's always been, right? I just feel like it's going to be a lot cheaper if I just make it at home. But, I will, like, of course, right, I'll take the lady out on dates and stuff, and I always enjoy doing it as well. And there are, like, restaurants that I do like to go to. But in general, like, I actually am a type of person that likes to cook a lot more at home, especially when it comes to, like, doing steak or any sort of, like, meats. But I am curious. I've actually always been curious, and I do want to go to a Brazilian steakhouse, Darwin. I definitely would be down to go. Especially if we do, like, an Airsoft game, right? Even if it's not a BB Wars. Even if we just all go out to, like, play Airsoft, and we're like, hey, let's go to a steakhouse after. That sounds pretty fun. Like, I would totally be down. Let's see. Mitchell McKenna. JG really shook things up, if I remember. Crazy affordable metal AGs. I spent so much time looking at classic armies on okay. No, yeah, like Mitchell McKenna started with SEMA. Okay, so it's been a while. Started with SEMA. AKM was legendary compared to the Springers and LPE Dick's Sporting Goods had. That's true. At the end of we all started off at some point, especially if you were there long enough, right? Especially as a kid. We all started off with like the Walmart special or like the Big Five, airsoft guns, which they're not the same things for sure. Definitely not the same things. So low quality compared to like the stuff that exists out there. But yeah, no, absolutely. And you're right, JG or now Golden Eagle right now, like they definitely are making some really, really good ass stuff right now, especially right now. Some really cool, affordable, like solid platforms that you can work on, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Snakebite, whose private collection is better, Cisco or Boas? We need to know once and for all. That's a very easy one, Snakebite. It's mine. I mean, objectively, mine is very different, right? If you're going for the absolute most Mayo, it's a tough one. It's a very tough one. I would say maybe Cisco. Boas, I think, like, not that Cisco doesn't have good taste. Cisco has really good taste as a whole, especially if you really love Mayo. Boaz is definitely more of like, he definitely likes more of like the stuff that gets a little bit more hype for sure. We always joke around, we call him like the clout chaser. He always wants to go, or like the hype beast of Airsoft. He always wants to go for like, oh, I need to have this, right? I need to have this mount, this skyscraper mount. I need to have this. And I get why he, like, again, new technology, right? It's supposed to improve. But it is funny that he will also, again, he will on occasion maybe shit talk a little of like some of the older stuff. It's like, it's not good. It's so outdated. And I'm like, hey, I like the old stuff, right? I like the old stuff. I like the classic stuff. I still think it has a place. And hey, at the end of the day, I'm still getting more kills than Boaz. I mean, I'm just saying on the field. It's always been the case. I've always gotten more kills, right? Even when I have the clunkier or the older outdated gear or the outdated guns, right? I'm just saying, right? But between the two, I would say you won't be disappointed either or. You really would not be disappointed either or. Okay, make sure I'm missing anything. Okay, answer that one as well. Okay, should be caught up on those. Let's scroll down to the most recent comments and questions. And remember, guys, again, less than an hour left of the stream remains, so make sure to take advantage of all the promos above my head. Every pre-order for an MGC4, getting you 50 entries, right? 50 entries, 50, right? Not only that, every order placed before 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time will receive 5 entries into the shopping spree giveaway for every $50 spent, so don't miss out. Keep scrolling on down to the most recent comments and questions. If you haven't already, make sure to leave a big old thumbs up on this live stream. Share this around with as many people as possible. Let's get all eyes on this. Right? Make sure I'm missing anything. See what is... See what the discount one's so bad. Drop it to $2.89 and take my money right now, please. I can't, man. I can't do that myself. Jesse Ray Gaming. What's the best HPA rifle? Every HPA owner is gonna say theirs, their personal ones. But there are a few HPA guns that are like, that you can buy right out of the gate, come out the box already pre-HPA'd. I would say probably would be the Wolverine MTW. Right? Probably the Wolverine MTW. Just because, right, it's just so freaking convenient. And the price, even though it is really expensive, it's still pretty fair considering what you're actually getting, right? Let's take a look at it, right? If you guys didn't know, one of the Wolverine MTWs is that the SBR variant is actually the grand prize in the Silver 20th Anniversary Mystery Box. And again, $155. Just saying, right? But let's click on that, right? Look on this gun. Literally goes for 155. Right? I believe it already has the Wolverine Inferno Gen 2. Yeah, it has a Gen 2 Inferno already pre-installed. All you're going to need at this point is a tank, reg, and a line. A tank, reg, and a line, and you're done. Right? Which is actually not too bad, really. These things perform great. They're solid, and they're durable as all hell, man. Like, you could chuck this thing against a concrete wall, and this thing is not going to budge. This thing ain't going to break. I would say this is definitely the move. I would definitely say this is the move, right? Again, but that's just my personal opinion. I'm sure some of you guys might have other opinions out there. Let me know what they are in the live chat. Oh, my back. I definitely need like a back massage or something. Okay, let's see. Make sure I don't miss anything. Make sure I don't miss anything. Happy birthday, Again, always want to make sure we give a big old happy birthday out. Okay, yeah. And remember, guys, my question for you guys was, what was your experience when you were getting into Airsoft as someone who was younger than 18, right? Did you guys receive flack from your parents or your legal guardians? Did you have to try to convince them to get you an airsoft gun? What sort of tactics did you use to get, your airsoft gun? Right? I definitely had a hard time doing it, like trying to convince my parents to let me play airsoft. Just my dad was actually not too opposed to it because he was a bit of a troublemaker growing up. My dad's kind of like the freaking, as a kid, he was kind of a delinquent now that I think about it. But my dad's always been kind of the troublemaker, right? He had like tons of BB guns that he owned as a kid, right? That he had to sneak around and didn't show his parents, right? So we kind of get it, right? So he kind of gets it, right? He doesn't get it to this extent, right? Like he doesn't actively like go play airsofting with me or hasn't gone airsofting with me, but he thinks they are cool. He thinks they are cool guns. So for him, it wasn't too hard to convince that I wanted to play airsoft and to let me play, because it's like, at the end of the day, he's either doing this or he's doing video games, so might as well have him go outside, right? Because when I was done, especially because I got into it like right at the start of like high school, literally right at the start of high school. So for me, it was like, go to practice, come home. Go to practice, come home, right? And I wanted to play airsoft with my friend that got me into it. And, being able to, play with them I had to ask permission, right? Like, oh yeah, can I play airsoft? And my mom was the one that would say no, so I took my dad a little bit of convincing too. But my dad was able to convince her, right? It was just like, hey, he's mature enough, right? He's, got good grades. I don't see why not. He's wearing eye protection the entire time. Whatever happens is on him. And mom was like, begrudgingly agreed. She's not crazy about what I do. She doesn't like hate what I do at all. Like, she doesn't like hate it. She just doesn't really understand it. But as a kid, man, oh man, did she hate it. As a kid, she definitely hated that. She hated the fact that I was airsofting. Let's see, make sure I'm missing anything. DA Airsoft, do you have a personal YouTube? DA Airsoft, I do have a personal YouTube, but I don't really use it very often. I mostly use it, again, just like any person would, just to, look at videos and stuff. I don't like upload like stuff regularly on my personal YouTube. I do have a personal Instagram and I do have a personal TikTok, which I actually am pretty active on. So if you wanted to go ahead and follow me on there, you can, if you really wanted to. A lot of the shorts that I make on TikTok are actually what I use also for some of the shorts that we do, just because, again, like it works very well. It works very well. I do mostly airsoft related content. Let's see, make sure I'm not missing anything. All right. Keep going through, keep scrolling through, make sure I am not missing any questions. And again, guys, if you have any airsoft related questions, feel free to let me know down in the live chat. Just make sure to put the letter Q right in front of your question. Makes it a heck of a lot easier for me to go ahead and see. It can be anything regarding products that we carry on our website. If you're looking for personal recommendations of mine, if you're looking for my experience playing certain airsoft games, if you're looking for Milsim advice, I'm totally okay with giving that as well. Or if you want to ask me personal questions too, like that's totally all right as well. I'm an open book. I don't care. Yeah, feel free to go ahead and do so. Just do it in the live chat, not the comment section. That has happened quite a few times where someone's asking in the comment section. I wasn't able to get to it. So put in the live chat specifically, not the comment section. I can definitely answer your question. All right. Make sure I'm missing anything. Okay, keep scrolling up. Okay, should be caught up on those. Let's scroll down to the most recent comments and questions. All right. I'm literally teching at the field while watching. Oh, I see. My first experience, I was being quite nervous. Now being the world's youngest airsoft kid, it's quite scary. No, I get that. Just your gaming, I totally understand. The first time that you go, it's definitely quite nerve-wracking. I'm actually curious. Did you get a lot of flack from your parents when you first started going airsoft, or were your parents pretty chill with you wanting to play airsoft? Let's see here. I'm struggling to see this name. Is that hold on. Okay, that's why there was a literal black. Sorry, you guys can't see it. There was a black smudge on my screen, so I could not see the person's name. Homie G, can you, as a line ant, run it with no stock? Can you, as a line ant, run it with no? I'm sorry, homie AG. I'm struggling to understand the question. Can you, as a line ant, run it with no stock? I'm so sorry. I do not understand the question. Maybe rephrase it. I can come back to that one. Casper, thanks for stream. Isaiah's going to listen for the rest, doing the usual teching while restoring or listening to while I do this brushless upgrade. Have a good one, Mayo Gang. Absolutely, Casper. Always glad to have you on. What do you think? Oh, this comes from What do you think of the Lance Tactical HPA gun with the tank? Oh, okay, the Legions with the tank in the back. It definitely makes it like a bit strange. I think it's a cool concept. I'll be honest, I haven't heard too many good things about the Legion, just because most people who want to go HPA are usually going to go all out. Or they'll go with a Pulsar engine, or they'll go with a Wolverine of some kind. Yeah, I don't really see too many people rocking the Lancer Tactical Legions out there, so I don't really have too much good experience with them. Yeah, I do apologize, but yeah, my experience with them has actually been very limited, and it hasn't been the best. Yeah, unfortunately. I think they got the right idea. They got the right ideas when it comes to the way it's designed. I think that's definitely one way to do it. But as far as the stock design as a whole, I think it's an interesting concept. I think it's cool, and it definitely makes it a little bit more, I guess, less like involved, because you got the freaking line sticking all the way out to the tank in the back. It's kind of annoying, I'd imagine, to have to deal with that as opposed to just going with a regular AG. So this kind of helps kind of mitigate that a little bit. I'm not mad at it. Right, I don't hate it. Let's see here. What do you think? Okay, so that one. This comes from Mitchell McKenna. Most memorable Airsoft game, good or bad or both? Oof. I actually have a few. I have a few. Some of them were good. Some of them were bad. But I think the most memorable games, because there's a few games that come in mind. I think the most memorable in terms of good would probably have to be like the Milsom West game that I went to, the 13 hours experience. That one was just awesome. I was literally racking up kills like nobody's business. That was insane. That was absolutely insane. And for 3 hours, right? For 3 hours, that was fucking crazy. Just held up in this freaking makeshift embassy with our little barriers that we had to put up, our little chain link fence that they took down. Just seeing an entire city's worth of people literally just all marching towards your position, right? They're all coming towards you. And they all want you dead. That shit was intense. That was really cool. Right? But worst experience? I haven't had too many like really bad experiences when it comes to Airsoft. Like nothing majorly terrible. I think there was one time. I think this was when I want to say my third year of playing Airsoft. This is my third year of playing Airsoft. We decided, we'd been going to mostly outdoor fields. Actually, second year. We've been mostly going to like outdoor fields, just mainly going to Hollywood Sports, right? Because it was very close to us, very conveniently located. Right? That was my go-to field. That was my home field for a long time. But I wanted to start venturing out, so like, hey, let's go to Tac City, right? I see a lot of videos coming out of Tac City. Let's go there, right? I want to try it out. My buddies were like, yeah, let's go. And when we went, the field itself layout is cool, but the player base just didn't really seem like unless they were a kid, like unless they were like a really young kid, everyone else my age and above just seemed kind of. And again, this is not a reflection on what Tac City is like now. I'm sure it's changed, but it definitely felt like everyone was just trying really, like everyone was like a really sweaty try hard, and was just also really toxic and was kind of an asshole to talk to, right? Like I try to talk to people, and unless you were within their immediate friend group, no one wanted to talk to you, right? Like I go to an outdoor field, right? I'm like, oh hey man, that's a really cool gun. What you working on? What is this, right? What's the base gun, right? They go all into it. And when I went there, it was very much just like, oh, it's just an HPA gun, right? That's all they would say. Or it's just a TM, right? And I'm like, clearly there's way more to it, but you can tell that just the vibes they gave off, they didn't want to talk to you. Which again, if you want your personal space, that's fine. But for everyone to do that. I'm not even like invading other people's personal space or anything. I'm just like, I just said, hey, that's a really cool gun. What is that, right? It just felt like unless you were within their friend group or you were like, considered the cool guy there, right? Like if you weren't already like an established speed softer, like because I used to show up in full kit too, right? Because of that, they were just like immediately like just felt like everyone was just looking at me and were treating us differently, right? I deadass saw, a player shoot the referee during like we were literally just setting up for the next game. He shot a ref, and the ref automatically assumed it was me that did that, right? And I'm like, no, what are you talking about? It's this player. I thought you were friends with them. That's why I didn't say anything. But they went off on me, and they kicked out, me and my friends, because they were like, oh yeah, you shot the ref tower, because all the other players were saying, yeah, it was him. It's like, dude, I didn't even do, like, I don't even have a mag in my gun. I don't even have a mag in my gun yet, right? Like, there's not a single round that's chambered right now. But no, apparently I didn't belong there. They just wanted to get rid of me for some reason, so they're just like, yeah, you're out of here. It's like, okay, like, I even talked to one of the cashiers at the little pro shop, and they're like, yeah, that's messed up, man. I'm sorry. Like, I told him what happened. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry, dude. They should have just double checked. And I'm like, I told him, like, I'm not coming back here again, like, at least not to, like, management changes or something, because that was not okay, right? That was not okay. Like, we came there to spend money, have a good time, and we just got absolutely, like, essentially just singled out and kicked out. And that's probably the worst. That is probably the worst. I forgot about that. I actually forgot about that, right? But yeah, that was probably the worst experience I've had playing Airsoft, just because the player base there was just not cool, man. Just not cool. Just absolute toxic. But yeah, that's probably gonna be the both the best and the worst experience that I've had. Let's see here. Let's see. Make sure I'm missing anything. Answer that one. Answer that one. Jesse Ray Gaming. For my birthday, I'm getting an HPA Scorpion Evo. Is that a good pick? Yeah, dude. Scorpion Evo is dope, right? The Scorpion Evo is dope, especially the HPA one. Let's see here. Scorpion Evo. Man, my mouth is dry. I need some water. Scorpion Evo. Scorpion Evo pre-HPA'd. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, dang. Did it sell out? Oh, no. Oh, wait. No, it is. That's right. That's right. I totally missed it. I'm totally blind. Yeah, Scorpion Evo, Inferno HPA. Yeah, already with the Gen 2 Inferno? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a definite, like, good option, man. I like the Scorpion Evos. Nice, small, compact. I think the only downside is that they kind of do the same thing that KWA does, where the magazines are not, as far as I know, like, when we carry them, they're not available individually. They're only available in 3-packs, which is not the end of the world, right? Really well built. Again, that's a great HPA engine to have already pre-installed. I got no complaints whatsoever. I think it's a solid pick, man. That's a solid pick. That's a good choice. All right, keep on scrolling through. 3 MW3? MW3? What you referring to, homie AB? What you referring to? MW3? What you referring to? Okay, make sure I'm scroll down the most. Okay, I think David Botel just pre-ordered. My man, you just got yourself 50 entries into the giveaway. Again, guys, now's the time to place your orders, right? Absolutely. Now is 100% the time to go in and place your orders. Guys, we have literally, oh God, what is that? 38? That 38? Yeah. We have 38 minutes left of the live stream. If you guys haven't already, place your orders. Take advantage of the promos above my head. Every order placed before 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Actually, I should change that. I apologize. I need to change it. I left that from last time. 5:30 p.m. There we go. Placed before 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be receiving 5 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. 5 chances of winning the shopping spree giveaway for every $50 spent. So $50, 5 chances. $100, 10 chances. $150, 15 chances. You guys get the idea. I think multiples of 50. Fairly easy, right? And, of course, the pre-orders for the MGC4s, right? Any pre-order for an MGC4 will be receiving 50 chances of winning $1,800. All for yourself, right? And all you got to do is place the order and watch the live stream on Thursday when Cisco does the giveaway and he makes the announcement, right? Because, again, if you guys didn't know, it started off at $600. For all my new people watching, it started off at $600 that you can win. But if you're not there during the live stream to be able to claim your prize, if your name is called, you will not be receiving an email. You will not be receiving a call. You will not be receiving a text. Nothing, right? You have to make sure you're watching in order to claim the prize. Provide the information that we need just to verify that it's you during that time frame, and you get the prize. But it's stacked so much now. We're at $1,800. $1,800, right? So don't miss your chance. Place your orders now while you can. Take advantage of all the opportunities that are handed to you, because these opportunities, are meant to be used, right? They're there for a reason. We want to help you guys win, but you got to participate. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. It ain't going to happen. All right. I think we're caught up on all those. Let's scroll down to the most recent comments and questions. Akash Paul, cool, what's going on, man? What is going on? Would you run a French maid outfit with me? Cool, tell you what. I would. I would 100% actually go in a French maid outfit with you. As long, well, maybe not even French, but I would go in a maid costume with you and actually go to the field. As long as it's actually a good, well put together outfit, right? I don't want something that just looks like just straight up something that you buy at, like, you know, Cosplay R Us. You know what I mean? I want something that's nice, right? I want some of that good quality shit, like an actual made uniform, right? I would 100% do that. Then yeah, I probably would, but I would still want to go full kit above that. You know what I mean? So like maid outfit, but I would still wear like full Milsim setup above that too. You know, so we got like my plate carrier or my rig. I got my helmet, of course, maybe even a belt too. I would do the whole thing, right? I would do the whole 9 yards. Yeah, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do all out, and I'm gonna do it right. Let's see here, make sure I'm missing anything. Make sure everything. We are slinging plastic BBs and playing real life war games. Quit trying to be cool. It's all love, all for the fun. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like that's something I try to tell people too. Like, what I like that Airsoft has, you know, aspects of it that can be very immersive, right? That's why I do Milsim games. Milsim games are so fun, right? They're so fun. Because I love that immersive factor that you get whenever you're out in the field, right? Especially at night too. That's always like the best too. When you're out on patrol, you don't know what you're gonna encounter. You're just growing through all these buildings, right? Trying to clear them out, and then you start taking contact from an area, right? And you gotta like counter, right? You gotta find a way to see where it's coming from and then take them out, right? That's absolutely one of my favorite parts about Airsoft, right? Just the overall immersive factor. But you know, I also like remember too, like, hey, at the end of the day, we're all a bunch of nerds playing a silly game of war, right? With these nice, cool, realistic looking, but still toys nonetheless, right? That's something that you always take, like, you know, don't take it too seriously, but like add to the immersion, but you don't need to go ahead and go like super crazy when it comes to like, oh, this is real life, bro. Like, obviously no, right? Like this is very much a game. This is very much a game. So try not to take it too seriously, but have fun with it. Sure, am I missing anything? Okay, so tell them about the taco shop raid. Oh, yeah. So I can't go into too much detail, Koo, about who, you know, decided to go and attack us. But essentially, we open one of the things that we like to do for insurgency events. We'll do some type of business. Either we'll go as a PMC, right? Because we have it like really in with the cadres there. They know us. They're very cool guys, right? Or we'll go in as a taco shop, right? Or some type of restaurant. This last time we were a barbecue restaurant instead, because my boy Koo, Kosh Paul, you weren't able to join us. I was very sad that you weren't able to join us. I was very sad that you weren't there. I missed the taco shop. But yeah, we opened up a taco shop, and it was a massive success. It was massively successful, right? But in the middle of us doing our business, we just got completely raided. By a certain Airsoft influencer. I'll say that. Because apparently they had been receiving reports that someone that was just taking pot shots at NATO, right, had rushed to our building, right? And so they were just trying to clear us all out, right? And it's like, bruh, they didn't do an investigation. They didn't have a search warrant, right? Even the police tried harassing us, right? Without a search warrant, right? And they were told them, like, hey, you can't come in here without just cause, right? Without any sort of reason or any sort of warrant. Absolutely not. We're not letting you come in, right? Of course we're all strapped up, right? And we outnumbered them. So even the cop was just like, damn, I can't even counter that. He's right. And they just left us alone. And then they came back with like these like freaking SWAT dudes, right? All these dudes in multicam black. The secret police, they all rolled up on us. We're like, bruh, like we're literally just cooking here and they just killed us. It was like, bro, why? Why, man? Actual war crimes being committed in Milsim West. Actual war crimes. Okay, keeps going through. Let's see, make sure I'm seeing. What's your opinion on the Echo 1 M14? Using it for my first Milsim event. It's a very cool option, Storm. I actually like to see a lot more DMR out there, a lot more battle rifles. Someone say battle rifles. I really very much love seeing battle rifles and DMR platforms being used out the 308 stuff. It's very cool. The Echo 1 M14, I do think needs a little bit of work. You know, it's definitely an oldie. It's an oldie but a goodie, but an oldie nonetheless. For me, I would suggest, you know, if you're gonna go all out, right, with an M14 or like an EBR setup, you might as well go full DMR. Right, set that up for DMR rules and for FPS limit, for the DMR FPS limit. You know, go up to 500, I believe, if I remember correctly. Set that up for 500 FPS with a 2.0. Get that accuracy and range dialed in, man. Get that accuracy and range dialed in. Unicorn Type 4 inner barrel and bucking. If nothing else, do that. Get the Unicorn Airsoft barrel setup, right? Get the inner barrel, get the bucking, get the hop-up nub. Swap that in, and you will see already a massive improvement to your range and accuracy and your consistency, right? 100% you will see a difference. But then I would say, hey, maybe, since you have the DMR platform, might as well go full DMR, right? Might as well go full designated marksman's rifle at that point, right? It only makes sense. Oh, man, my allergies are going crazy right now. Andy Harris, hey, Isaias and gang. What's going on, Andy? Good to see you again. Good to see you. David Boteo, looking to stop by at the shop this week. Can you help me with a new starter loadout? David Boteo. Absolutely, David. I absolutely can. So it depends on what you're looking for. It depends on what your budget is. There's a lot of variables at play. What your expectancy is in terms of like what you're hoping to get out of the airsoft gun, what fields you're going to be playing, what fields you're going to be hitting up, what your play style is. If you're a newer player, then yeah, like again, it depends, right? Like, are you shopping for yourself? Are you shopping for someone else to get into it? A lot of things in play here. So if you want more detailed stuff, David, like you feel free to ask me in the live chat, or you can also DM us too. DM us on Instagram, Facebook, or Discord. Let us know all the specifics too, and yeah, we can totally get you set up. But I would say, if you wanted to, might as well hit us up right now in the live chat, right? Let us know who it's for, right? Sort of preferences of any kind, what fields you're expecting to go to, all right? It really depends, right? Because you can put together a pretty nice like collection of items, right, to give you a loadout, essentially a whole loadout. It just depends on how much you want to spend, really. Okay, let's see here. And if you're stopping by the shop this week, just bear in mind, Saturdays is the only day on the weekend we're open. Sundays we are closed. Oops, sorry. Sundays we are closed, but we open back up Monday. Monday through Friday, business hours are going to be from 11 to 5:30. And then on Saturdays are the only days we're open from 11 to 7. So just keep that in mind. Make sure I don't miss anything. Okay, scroll up. Okay, let me scroll down to the most recent comments and questions. Guys, we have less than 30 minutes left. We have 29 minutes left. We have 29 minutes left of the live stream. So, guys, take advantage of the promotions above my head. Remember, every order placed before 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time will receive 5 entries into the shopping spree for every $50 spent, right? And if you pre-order an MGC4 right now, you can pre-order any of them. As long as it's on a pre-order, you'll be getting 50 entries, 50 chances of winning the next shopping spree giveaway going on for $1,800. So don't miss out. Miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so might as well go ahead and shoot your shot right now. Okay, scroll down the most recent thing. Man, my mouth is dry as the Saharan desert. Homie G, is that an HFC M11 in the back? Yes, it is. It is an HFC M11. It doesn't work. It has some problems, but it makes it for a very good prop in the background. It's an old boneyard one that I had, and I was like, you know what? This makes for good eye candy to have, right? So I just put that back there. Chef Panikage, Sub-Is driving home now. Hope you're good. I am doing fantastic, Chef Panikage. Hopefully you and Trinity are having a good day. Have you guys recovered from that taco eating mukbang that you guys had? Are you guys feeling a little better? Are you still feeling queasy? I was able to join in the stream for a little bit on that one. That was rough to watch, man. That was rough to watch. Make sure I miss anything. Kaku, can't blame me. I went to a con. What the heck? Let's see here. Make sure I miss anything. Hello there, PrimeTech Customs. Good to see you again, buddy. Good to see you again. I will make you a wonderful full kit. Okay. All right. If you make me a full-on like made costume, then I'll bust it out. Why not? I look good in drag. I know I do. See, Jesse Ray Gaming. The only thing is the Scorpion I'm getting, it doesn't have an HPA tube or tank. I'm going to have to enjoy the sound it makes when it full autos. It goes brrr, just like an A10 Warthog, man. Grrr. We are slinging play. Yeah, absolutely. And remember, guys, if you have any airsoft-related questions, feel free to let me know down in the live chat with the letter Q right in front of your question. If you want to ask me my personal opinion on products that we sell, if you want to ask me, my recommendations for things, my opinions on certain stuff, or if you want to go ahead and ask me personal questions too, you are more than welcome to do so. I'm an open book. I do not keep any secrets, really. So feel free to go ahead and ask me as well. One of the questions that I had for you guys, and Ku, I know you're still listening in. If you can help me out as well. You too, Chef. When you guys started in Airsoft, right? Did you guys receive any sort of flack from your parents? Was it something that your parents like discouraged you from doing? They didn't want you to, or were you a kid that was asking for like airsoft stuff for Christmas, and your parents were like, "No, we're not getting that for you." Right? Was that what it was like for you guys, or did you guys get the opposite treatment or the opposite end of the spectrum, where it was like your parents were actually pretty cool with it and they were pretty down with you playing this fictional war game essentially that we're playing? What was your guys' experience with that? I'm actually genuinely curious. This keeps going through. Because I remember too, actually. Okay, this is actually kind of embarrassing. As a little kid, and I do mean little, like I was little, right? I always have loved Star Wars, right? Like always have loved Star Wars as a kid, right? But anytime that I got an action figure that wasn't a Jedi, right, where they came with a lightsaber. Anytime I got a stormtrooper or a clone trooper, or like any character that had a blaster of any kind, right? Because it looks like a gun. My mom was so much against guns that she would take the packaging. As soon as I opened them, she would say, "Give it here." I would have to give her the action figure. She would take and confiscate all my like blasters or anything that even remotely looked like a gun. She would confiscate them, right? It wasn't until I was like, I think this was going on for like literally as long as I can remember. I think it wasn't until I was like 9 or 10, right, that I was 10. I think it was 10 years old when I was in. I'm like, "Can I have my guns?" And then she's like, "Fine," right? And she gave them all back to me because I was like, it's not fair that my little brother doesn't have that, right? My little brother didn't get that treatment. Only I did for some reason. But that, man, as a kid, that pissed me off so much because I just wanted to be able to pair like my Jango Fett, right, with his dual blaster pistols. But my mom freaking took them. I was so mad. I was so upset about that, right? It just wasn't fair. It just was not fair, right? Because now I had clone troopers that have literally nothing to fight with, right? I have stormtroopers that can't defend themselves. Now my freaking Luke Skywalker playtime looks like just him massacring like unarmed civilians, It's absolutely terrible. But yeah, that's how opposed to guns she actually was when I was growing up. My dad, not so much. My dad didn't really care, but he was like, very much, I'm going to pick and choose my battles, and I don't really care enough about this one, right? That was one of those things. My dad's always been much cooler about these sort of things, right? It's like, he can do it, right? He's fine, right? Just my mom has always been very much the like a little, not like super overprotective, because she's not overbearing like now or anything, but she is very much the like slightly overprotective mom, especially when I was a little kid. I think right now too, like even as an adult, if she finds out that, because my mom's she's an RN, right? She's a nurse. She's actually studying. She wants to do a little bit more research-based stuff. She's trying to get her master's degree right now, which is very, very cool of her. Anytime any one of us has an injury, right? Doesn't matter what it is, how severe, how minor it might be. She is always being like, "All right, let me see." Like the minute someone texts like, "Oh, I got burned," I have a burn from the dishwasher. "Oh, I burned myself here," or "I cut myself here," right? She literally will not respond. She'll FaceTime you immediately and she's like, "All right, let me see what I'm looking at," right? She instantly goes into like fucking like a nurse mode, and she's trying to diagnose like, "All right, got this, right?" That's absolutely hilarious. It can even be for non-family members, right? I'll literally say, "Oh yeah, Nick hurt his my buddy Nick," right? He's like, "Oh yeah, he fell and he hurt his foot," right? And she'll FaceTime me, "Let me see his foot, let me see, turn the camera around." She like insists on actually seeing it so she can see what's going on. She's just a very overprotective mom. I do love her a lot. I do love my mom a lot. But man, oh man, that pissed me off as a little kid. Not being able to use my little toy guns, that pissed me off. Cool. My dad was against firearms and airsoft, mostly because he was shot at while driving his semi. It was a botched hijack. Oh, damn. Botched hijack that ended in him being shot. So him being against gun was a thing. I think if someone was shot, I feel like that's one of the times that I feel like, that's really understandable. That's like actually genuinely understandable why, like in general, firearms you would be like, maybe opposed to it. You know what I mean? I can see that a lot. I can 100% see that. Call sign Turtle. What's your opinion on real first aid kits in airsoft loadouts? That's fine. I think it's smart, right? I don't think you need to have like, the most Gucci, fucking like IFAC or like first aid kits on you necessarily. But it's a good idea generally to have it. It's like over preparing for something, right? It's like carrying a condom with you, right? It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. It's just common sense. Like, you would want something, even if, I carry a first aid kit in my car, right? No matter where I go, it's always going to be in my car. right? But yeah, no, like I think that's smart, dude. I think that's good on you, right? Probably because I'm growing up with Star Wars, Transformers, and other Saturday morning cartoons. I was very familiar with firearms and weapons because the show's movies were all oriented. Dude, that's crazy, man. Like it's just funny how like it was different time, man. Different time, right? Where it was like you would see like, do you remember like I think it was like the late '90s too, like all the like most violent like movies or like TV or like movies at the time that we had growing up, right? Like from the '80s and '90s, you know. All of them at some point or another had like a kids show. It was crazy. Freaking RoboCop had a kids show as well. It's like, bro, have the creators seen RoboCop? Like that shit is insane. Also, if you haven't seen RoboCop, highly recommend. Excellent watch. Always recommend it. Always recommended it. Keep scrolling through. Keep scrolling through. Oh my god, that's rough. No, dude, it was like I hated it. I hated it, man. Like even like just regular Star Wars action figures, like the small ones, like the little what is it? The little not 6 inches. Was that like 3.5, 4 inches? Yeah, all of them taken away. The only time I kind of got away with it was when it was a Lego set. Right, because those things, you guys remember the old school blasters they used to put up in the old Star Wars Lego sets? Those things didn't look like guns at all. Those things just looked like big old like megaphones or something that they just flipped around, right? And they put a little translucent red stud over, or like a blue or a green stud over, and that was it. That's all they did, right? The classic like blaster they used to have, like oh dude, that was the only time I got away with it. See, RJ Fisher, how often are you on a field where a ghillie suit matters? Have you ever tried a Viper hood? I've never tried a Viper hood, but how often where I've been on a field where a ghillie suit mattered? It was more so what type of ghillie suit, right? Again, whether it was a well-built one that was suited for that specific environment. I have seen ghillie suits being used very effectively, actually, on the field. And the fields that I play, you know, Wildlands specifically is a big one. A lot of dry brush. A lot of sand, a lot of dirt, but there are still guys that will show up in a ghillie suit and make it work very well, actually. Very, very well. So much so that I've actually considered doing it when I run my DMR. I'm actually kind of curious to see like how good I could probably be with a ghillie suit on. But again, that we'll just have to see, right? Chef Panikage, tons of flack just because they look like real farms. And growing up in New York, she was worried I'd get shot there. Oh, yeah, I could see that. Especially in New York. I mean, I kind of get it. Maybe an environment, you know, can definitely influence their decision or their opinions about it. You know, I could see that. I could understand that as well. Dude, you're the best. Thanks so much for reading my comment. Thank you, Jesse Ray. Always appreciate it. Always appreciate the comment, man. Always appreciate it. Again, I just want to help out as many people as I possibly can. And again, I actually just genuinely love hanging out with you guys on the stream. It's actually very fun for me. It's literally just like talking to my friends, right? Let's see. Homie Ness, is code 20 still active? I believe it is. I'd have to double check though. I believe it is though. I'm fairly certain it is. I know like again, people keep asking for it to be brought back, so we're like, well, okay, yeah, we'll bring it, right? We're very, very like we're very, very cool with our customers if you really think about it, because like we'll be like, all right, this is for a limited time, you know, only this code's gonna work, right? Or we're only doing limited time this promotion, right? And a lot of times we do, but if we get enough requests for something to come back, right? We're like, and if it's feasible for us, it's like, yeah, all right, we'll do it again. Why not, right? Again, we really do just want you guys to increase your odds of winning the shopping spree. We genuinely want you guys to have the best chances of winning the next shopping spree. Again, it's $1,800, $1,800 that you guys can win. Again, promos above my head are going to be ending soon. At the end of the stream, you have 18 minutes left. Literally 18 minutes left. Actually now 17 minutes left of the live stream. So remember, every $50 that you place, right, we'll be getting you 5 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. So take advantage of that. Stack up everything you need. Get all your essentials, right? We're all airsofters. We all need BBs. We all need green gas, right? So might as well shop with the guys that are going to reward you the best, right? With a chance to win a shopping spree giveaway. Or you can order yourself. You want to get something really nice? Get yourself an MGC4. Pre-order yourself an MGC4, and you will be receiving 50 chances of winning the shopping spree giveaway. The Mark IIs are slated to be shipping out either, I believe they're going to ship out Tuesday. If I put my money on it, I'm going to start shipping out Tuesday, because they just arrived in port yesterday. So make sure to place your orders and take advantage now while you guys can, and don't miss out. All right. How is your dog? She is doing fantastic right now. The few times that she's been sick, like literally right before I go to a Milson West event, she's come around every time. She's great. She's fantastic. She's healthy. Rambunctious as always. She's a big troublemaker. Koo, I gotta get back to you and the rest of TFA, by the way. I'm potentially hosting a Friendsgiving, so we're gonna have to plan that out. So you, Chris, and all the TFA boys are gonna be invited. All the team's gonna come out. So I'll have to talk to you more about that in depth. This keeps going through. It's good though. Okay, answer that one. Answer that one. All right, should be caught up on all those. Let's scroll down to the most recent comments and questions. David Botello, looking for a loadout I can use for both outdoor and indoor with a John Wick belt setup. What's your budget? Don't got a limit. Interesting. Okay, David Botello. That's a very interesting way to do it with a John Wick belt setup. Bear in mind, I am not the person to talk to when it comes to belt setups because I actually generally don't like belts too much. I like the idea of it, but in practicality, it's not my favorite thing in the world, right? I usually prefer having stuff on my plate carrier or my main rig, right? But it typically depends on how much money you want to go ahead and spend usually. As for a gun, were you talking about tactical gear or were you talking about tactical gear and a gun? If you're looking for a gun, go for anything that uses a quick change spring system, really, at the end of the day. Anything that has a quick change spring system is going to be your best friend because you'll be able to go ahead and adjust these FPS accordingly to whatever field rules have set in place. Right? If you're looking for general brand, if you wanted to go ahead and do a whole John Wick setup, right? I guess it depends on what type of loadout you're trying to go for. A lot of people like John Wick 2 because of the AR setup. It's fairly simple to kind of do that. You can pretty much go with any AR you want at that point because, again, you can always just change out the rail system and the barrel, right? Just whatever it is that is going to be most screen accurate. Cisco actually has, I believe it's an older video on our YouTube channel. You can actually check that one out, where he actually tried to do a full John Wick 2 AR build, and I think we even had it as a custom that we sold for a while on our site. But yeah, I believe he actually has a video where he covers what he put or what he used to build the John Wick 2 AR. So I would definitely recommend checking that out. As far as a sidearm for it, you gotta go with it, man. You gotta go with the best, right? You gotta go John Wick 4, anyone, right? Right? You gotta go with the Pit Viper, right? The Viper of the Pit, if you will, right? Absolutely. 220, yes, it is expensive for a pistol, but for damn good reason. This thing is not only officially licensed by TTI, has all the official trademarks throughout. It has Taron Butler's seal of approval on this bad boy. Best performing high kappa out of the box, in my honest opinion, right? Buttery smooth slide action, right? Pre-installed compensator, pre-threaded comp as well, so you can put a trace unit on there. Lower accessory rail, hand stippled grip. It's got the works, man. It's got the works, and you can get a P plus variation of this where it comes included with the Unicorn Airsoft Type 4 inner barrel and bucking as well, right? Absolute monster of a pistol. That would be the two guns that I would this would be the sidearm that I'd recommend. If you really want what I would suggest for the base gun for the AR build, if you wanted to go that route, for me, I genuinely would go with the MGC4. Again, best performance out of the box, right? It's gonna be a lot better than getting a really affordable or lower base tier rifle and then having to put all the upgrade parts internal that you wanted to be able to be competitive. Go for the MGC4, right? Get the MGC4, right? Build that out if you want to. And you'll still have the amazing internals, right? Because the externals, while they are awesome on the MGC4 Mark II, it's the internals, the heart of the beast is where it's at, man. It's the heart of the beast, right? And at that point, you will already have essentially a pre-upgrade. Even though it's not tanks being an upgraded gun, the performance on these is insane, right? It's absolutely insane. Building one of these out to be a John Wick AR, that's the move, dude. That's the move. And as far as plate carriers and chest rig, it's really up to you, dude. It's really up to you. If you're looking for a battle belt, oh, man. There's not too many belts that I think that I'm actually genuinely like a big fan of, but I would have to say, is it TAC 9? TAC 9 belt, I believe. Give me a second. Let me see here. I believe it's TAC 9 that's the OEM for the belt, but let me see. ML Max, these belts are not too bad. Those are just fairly simple belts, though. I would say, all right, you know what? Let's make this easier for myself. Tactical belts. Where are they? Chest rigs. Tactical belts. Okay, here we go. And it's going to show up fairly quickly, if I'm not mistaken. There you go. The Tech 9 Industries Special Combat Belts with the Cobra Buckle. These are fairly cheap, right? 25-ish bucks. Yeah, 25.49. This is probably what I would go with. It's got the nice Cobra Buckle on there. The only downside is that it is a very, very stiff belt. It's very stiff, right? It needs to be worn in quite a bit in order for it to be a little more flexible. But I've tried it on. It's fairly comfortable. We've brought these out to Milsim Games, and they rock. They absolutely rock. Okay, let's see here. Prime Tech Customs, growing up near the Mexican border, you hear about kidnappings, gang wars, recruitments. My parents didn't want me near any of that influence. Imagine the day I asked for an airsoft gun. Dude, Prime Tech, I can see that. I can totally see that. Especially if you're near a border or if you're in a quote-unquote border town, right? I could totally see that happening, man. That kind of makes sense as well. But again, that's just a byproduct of the environment that you're brought up in, right? Trying to disassociate from that as much as possible. I get that. I think it's kind of like it kind of hit home too, because again, like some of my family members, right, like that, we don't really, speak to too much, or, have been estranged from the family. A lot of them, were, or at least one of them mainly was in a gang at one point, right? Got himself involved with the wrong crowd, and, it caused a lot of problems for him legally. One of my cousins is actually in jail, honestly, because of it. And it just sucks, right? So I could see why that probably, I didn't even really think about it, but that could probably be another reason why my mom doesn't want anything to do with it, right? Because, because I went to jail, for being associated with like guns and all this shit, right? And here I am, a little kid asking, hey, can I have an airsoft gun? It's a toy that looks just like a real firearm, It's like, I could see why that would cause a little bit of like some trepidation or some nervousness within my mom. I don't want to cause her any sort of grief or anything like that. I just genuinely just wanted to go out and play because I thought it was cool, and I like guns. Yeah, make sure I don't miss anything. Sure I'm missing anything. Okay. Scroll up. What's your first aid kits? Okay, answer that one. No IFAC on my belt for looks. Might as well chuck a small first aid kit in there just in case. Yeah, man. IFACs, like, yeah, they can. Are they seen as a little extra? Yeah, I could see that. For sure. I don't always carry an IFAC or a first aid kit on my like actual kit when I'm playing, but sometimes I will. It always helps to have it because again, like small injuries can happen. You get a nice big abrasion, right? Some type of like cut, like maybe like some nail was sticking out in a doorway. You ran past it wearing a short sleeve, and you end up cutting yourself pretty deeply. And you're bleeding out. Like that it would very much help to have an IFAC on you for sure. Or at least, if you have one on you, someone else can like see that's in trouble, like call a ref over, and then they can apply it if need be. If you're not in a position where you can do it to yourself. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with bringing that whatsoever. Whew. Let's scroll down to the most recent comments and questions. Yeah, they are good, but it depends if you want it too rigid or flexible. Yeah, that's another thing too. For me, I don't mind if it's a little more rigid. I don't really care, but I could see why some people might want something a little bit softer. Let's see here. Make sure I don't miss anything. I need both indoor. Okay, don't got a limit. I feel like I should just go. I feel like I should just get a bigger wins box and have you stuff it with are you trying to say accessories, Casper? I mean, we could. If you deadass wanted to do that, like if you got yourself a bigger Wins Univoxy mystery box and you said, hey, I don't need guns. Maybe if you want tactical gear. Or if you wanted, I think you did. Yeah, you did tactical gear actually earlier. I forgot about that. But if you just want accessories, but you will have like a big budget for accessories, then yeah, why not? Like we could totally do that. Hook you up with tracer units. We can hook you up with some nice optics. Absolutely, dude. That's a smart move actually. Now that I think about it, because that gives you prime access to like all the Gucciest accessories, optics that we offer. Hell yeah. Mitchell McKenna, MP5 recommendations good for CQB out of the box. Depends really on like what sort of MP5 style you like, but all of them, considering the MP5 in itself is an SMG, they're all going to be pretty good for CQB. I think my favorite like version right now, if you're going solely for CQB, you want it to be as small as possible. MP5K, right? MP5K. You can't go wrong with the K, considering how small that thing is, man. It's tiny, ridiculously small. Oh no, it's sold out. Dang it. Well, I mean that's what happens, right? I remember too. It was on a sale for a while. That thing sold out pretty quickly. But also the SD is not a bad option either. MP5. I missed. Damn it. MP5. There we go. There we go. Wait for this to load. Yeah, going with pretty much any of the MP5s. I like this one too. The MP5 SD6 with the metal upper. That one's pretty sick. But I gotta say that the MP5 A4 and the A5, the Gen 2s, these are OEM by VFC, so these have the Avalon gearboxes, right? So these are pretty sick too. And these are both on a shocker deal too. They're normally like $430 and they're discounted to $390. That's pretty damn good, man. That's actually really, really good. I would say these are a solid pick as well. But again, Mitchell, it also depends on what budget you had in mind too. Really depends on what budget you had in mind as well. Either of these would be solid. I think I like the SC6 just a little bit. I think now, especially as I'm getting older. I always like the A4. I always love the A4 with the full stock. But, these SD6s are actually really sick as well. I would say this one would probably be your best bet out of all of them, if I'm being honest. Next to the MP5K, of course. But that one's sold out. Big sad. Your main source of reloading is from my belt. No, I get that. Again, I'm not saying belts are bad. I am by no means saying that reloading from the belt is bad or that belts are useless. No, not at all. I don't like having a lot of stuff weighing on my hips or stuff that can bring my pants down. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is. Like, my pants always slide down. I have to, like, tighten my belt. Like, it's freaking extra tight, man. And I got to pull them up all the way up, too. It's just the way it fits my body. It's just not 100% like perfect. It's not ideal. So I always have to tighten my belts really, really tight. So I don't want more shit weighing down my belt. Especially if I'm carrying mags. I'd rather just carry mags on literally on my main rig of some kind, chest rig or plate carrier. And even then, I run LMGs most of the time, right? So it's not like I have to carry like a ton of magazines on me. It's usually just like, okay, maybe one extra spare box magazine, some tools, and that's about it. I can run like if I'm running my Classic Army 249, for example, that can take regular M4 mags. So if I need to, yeah, I can run, a few mid caps on me. But overall, I'm carrying other shit on me. I'm carrying a flashlight. I'm carrying tools, whatever it is that I might need on the field, right? That's ultimately like what I carry, right? Extra ammo sometimes. If I'm on an LMG, I'm usually carrying extra ammo. So when guys need reloads, they'll usually come to me and be like, "Oh, I need a little more." I'll try to give them some. Okay. Cool. What would your favorite war movie be, or what would be your favorite war movie is? Okay. Backwards way of asking that, but sure. For me, favorite war movie, that's a tough one because there's a few, honestly, that I actually genuinely like. Black Hawk Down for sure is like definitely up there. Like it's got to be top 3 minimum. I'd say Black Hawk Down. What else would be up there? I genuinely think that's the one. I genuinely think that's my absolute favorite one. I do like, oh God. What else would I? There's a few. That's the thing. There's a lot, dude. There's actually quite a lot. Okay, if we're just solely sticking to like war films, like military movies, Black Hawk Down would definitely be one. I would have to say I also really did enjoy Platoon. It's another one that I really liked. And then, oh God. Yeah, I think those are probably like top 2 for me. Platoon, Black Hawk Down are probably like my 2 favorites. I actually really enjoyed. It's not a movie, but I also really enjoyed the Pacific, HBO's Pacific, the miniseries. I actually liked the Pacific more than I enjoyed Band of Brothers. Band of Brothers was good. Don't get me wrong. Band of Brothers is fantastic. But I think I like the Pacific just a little bit more for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's the environment they're in, just the overall like attitude of it. It just felt so like grim and bleak, right? More so than Band of Brothers. Not saying Band of Brothers didn't, especially during the one episode when they actually found like some of the concentration camps. Like, dude, that was hard to watch, man. That was rough, right? Seeing their reaction, just like, what the fuck was going on here, right? But I think overall, Platoon and Black Hawk Down are probably 2 of my favorite war films, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. What is your recommendation for headwear for a ghillie sniper? I'm thinking of a hat of some sort. Boonie cap. Boonie cap for sure, or some type of sniper veil if you're wearing if you have like any sort of ghillie. But I would say just generally a boonie cap would be like the best. Okay, scroll down the most recent comments. Didn't like Covenant. You know, I haven't seen Covenant yet, actually. Was it good? I heard mixed stuff about it. I do want to watch it, and I do have plan on watching it. Oh, that's right, 13 hours. Okay, yeah. Okay. No, my list still stays the same. Yeah, it would probably have to be Black Hawk Down, Platoon, and then I would say 13 hours is good on there. It's good too. I really like 13 hours as well. Also because it has because it's just such a oh man, the situation just kept getting worse for those guys. Like absolutely, right? Absolutely. Okay, let's make sure everything, guys. We literally have like 1 minute left. We have a few seconds left of the stream. If you have stuff in your cart, now is the time to check out because once it hits 30, that's it. That's not going to count. You got to place your order right now, right freaking now. Whether that be the pre-order for the MGC4, whether that be ordering yourself a silver 20th anniversary mystery box, whatever the case might be. Make sure to go in and check out now while you guys can because we only have a few seconds left. Now. Don't miss out. Right? Don't miss out. Yeah, those are all good movies. Now, honestly, I'm probably going to go home this weekend and probably watch a few of them. That sounds like a grand old time to me. And it's 5:30. That is it. That is going to be the end of the live stream. That is the end of the Storefront live stream. The promo above my head is now over. It's donezo. That's it. It doesn't matter. It's done, right? You didn't place your order in time. Too bad, right? Unfortunately, you got to make sure that you take advantage while you can. But if you still want to get multiple entries in the shopping spree giveaway, there is still a way for you to do it. Order yourself a silver 20th anniversary mystery box version 2, and you'll be getting yourself 10 entries into the shopping spree giveaway, in addition to potentially winning guaranteed something off this list, right? And the lowest costing prize is $20 more expensive than the box itself, so make sure that you place your orders now while you guys can. The MGC4 Mark IIs, specifically the Mark IIs, have arrived at port as of yesterday, and we will be receiving them within the next few business days, and we will be immediately shipping out as soon as we get them in. So make sure you place your pre-orders now while you can. We still have plenty of guns that are on sale, new combos that are available on our site, new stuff, always dropping new products. So you guys got to make sure that you stay in the loop. If you liked the stream, if you like the content that you're seeing, make sure that you leave a big old thumbs up on the live stream. Share this around with more people, even after it's done premiering. Still share it around. Always good to watch, right? Make sure to share it around. And if you're not already, make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Always putting out new content for you guys. We have a YouTube video that actually went out live yesterday, so make sure that you check it out. I believe it was budget pistols, right? Holiday season is around the corner, so make sure you get all your holiday shopping done at Airsoft GI. Again, guys, big shout out to everyone that asked their questions, right, and that participated in the live chat, and a big shout out to everyone that was just watching. It always means the world to me that you guys choose to spend your free time hanging out with me and the rest of the Mayo Gang. My name is Isaias, and